Don't forget to hit the like button if you like the type of content that I put out. First and foremost, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. Anytime I hit on any type of subject that's dealing with something like this, if it does not fit the narrative of what they want to push on most social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, those type of platforms, it's a good chance they're not going to notify most of my subscribers that I am live right now. And like some of you guys just got done saying, it's delayed too, right? So anyway, I'm getting ready to do something here real quick. I'm going to play this video and then we're going to get into it. So give me 1 second to share this video and I'm going to try to do something here real quick. All right, so just bear with me. I'm going to share this video. Get myself out.
My name is Jasmine Jordan, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity to speak with you all today. I was raised in the church and homeschooled from preschool through 5th grade. Both of these were crucial in shaping my early upbringing and my worldview. They gave me the strong foundation of moral beliefs and values that the Constitution was founded on. Lessons like iron sharpens iron, be a leader, not a follower, and so help me God are ingrained into every aspect of my character. As I progressed through the public school environment, this strong moral compass guided me throughout my journey, and I carried it with me to college. In spring 2022, I joined Iowa Young Americans for Freedom when I discovered that this organization aligned with the Christian conservative values instilled in me by my church and family. The more involved I became in the club, the more I discovered that the playing field for freedom of speech on college campuses was not equalized. The first time I noticed this was when Iowa YAF hosted Kellyanne Conway as a speaker. In response, I was doxxed in a group chat of over 800 students and was falsely labeled as a Nazi, a token, a white supremacist, and a bigot. Some individuals even expressed that I made them uncomfortable and feared that I might commit a hate crime against them simply because I'm Black and hold conservative principles. These students believe that if you are conservative, you are hateful, support oppression, and only want to benefit straight white men, even though such beliefs are untrue. When we hosted Lieutenant Colonel Allen West speak on campus last year, he spoke on the topic of debunking diversity, equity, and inclusion and proved that America is not racist. We used chalk advertisements to promote the lecture, which is something many colleges do, to effectively let students know about upcoming events. Immediately, our chalk was altered, which is a violation of school policy. New messages were put in place saying that Allen West is racist and that racism is prevalent in schools, thus critical race theory should be supported. At Allen West's lecture, a protester stood in the back holding a sign that read, "Stop the alt-right, punch your local Nazi today." This is blatant irony. Conservatives are slandered by students and faculty as harmful, yet here's an obvious example of someone openly delivering a violent threat and facing no repercussions. The entitlement continues. I find that when a conservative doesn't want to hear a speaker, they just don't attend the event. But when a leftist doesn't want to hear a speaker, they do everything they can to shut the lecture down. Our club recently hosted Matt Walsh. Students and faculty were willing to do anything to cancel the event just because they found Walsh's speech to be offensive. Some people were so dedicated to silencing our voices that literally as one of us was advertising with chalk, a leftist student was erasing each of those letters with a wipe. We received death threats along with plenty of verbal harassment. That night, before the speaking event, my hallmate, who happened to be the one erasing the chalk, stalked outside of my bedroom door by putting his ear on it to see if I was in my room because he was just so outraged by my involvement. That was a terrifying experience, but what I find to be more appalling is when I talked to our hall coordinator about this, and she replied, "People are allowed to think, feel, and react however they want to about this upcoming event." At the event, someone threw 20,000 marbles on the floor to prevent people from entering the venue. Attendees were spat on. Outside, a popular pep band well known to our school played loud music to try and drown out the speaker's message. I share these occurrences with you all to show that despite repeatedly meeting with the university administration, the rules are continually permitted to be broken by left-leaning students. They are in fact coddled by our school. The university expresses affirmations and puts together support, solidarity, and celebration spaces. These individuals act out against conservatives without care or consequence and are empowered to act this way because of the lack of action by the administration and university leaders. Conservative organizations do not get the same resources that these other organizations receive. Conservatives often have to hide who they are and what they believe in so that they do not lose relationships or receive a lower grade or face constant doxing, harassment, intimidation, or threats. I went to college with the expectation that I would hear different points of view because I thought it would be a place where young people could come together, disagree, and still be friendly and courteous to one another. However, after 2 years, I've realized that this is not the case at all, and that students who hold opposing views are often subjected to frequent violent threats and other forms of harassment with no accountability. Our founding fathers guaranteed every U.S. citizen the right to free speech in the Constitution. It is an important resource for all Americans, not just a small percentage of them, particularly if they hold different views and ideas than those of others. To ensure that peaceful continuation of the nation, we must all come together and understand that differing opinions and expressing them, we should nevertheless show respect for one another and refrain from causing each other bodily, mental, or emotional harm. Thank you for your time.
There it is. Now, what I'm going to do here is, I know y'all probably thinking like, Ty, what in the world is going on? But some people got a problem with, I guess like when I talk sometimes, especially now, I told you guys, is literally something that YouTube does. I can bring myself back on the camera, but the thing is my words are going to come out and then you guys are going to end up seeing my lips moving like it's delayed. Okay. So now here's the deal. If you want me to actually just cam back up, I'll come back on the camera. But if it's going to bother you that my lips are not matching up with my words, then please say so. If you guys want me to come back on camera, I will gladly come back on camera. Just tell me in the comment section, come back on camera. Okay. Just let me know, because I definitely want to get into this, because this actually is a, it pisses me off, of course, but it also is a little personal to me. Yeah, you heard me. It's personal because I know this girl. I know her mother. I know her father, and I know her sister. I know them well. So you guys let me know what y'all want me to do. If it's delayed really bad and you rather have me talk like this, let me know. It will be the first time in the history of my channel that this is going on like this. But yeah, let me know, y'all. Y'all just let me know if y'all rather see me. But this is a crazy huge delay, and it's definitely something that YouTube does all the time when I'm hitting on something like this. Okay, let me know. Mama Don, hey sister, hopefully you get ready to come back in here. Hopefully you can come on. Okay. Oh, we know what's YouTube doing. All right, I'll cam back up for y'all. All right. Okay, so here we go. Let's get back on into it. So you guys just got done hearing everything that Miss Jasmine just got done saying. Now, I got this story from her months ago because I know her and her family. I've met them. I've talked with them. I talk back and forth with her. She lets me know different things that are going on. And no, I'm not going to show you guys something here. I can show you the text of me of letting her know that I'm going to be doing this tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, if you don't see the full crazy all out hypocrisy in this, then you are just choosing not to see it. Okay. So with that being said, let me see if I can bring this up to you guys so where y'all can see it in a different way, where we're going to go through this. You guys just got done hearing Miss Jasmine testifying, right? And now what we're going to do, I'm going to go through this portion and I'm going to read some of it. Okay. So here it is right there. Splat out. Come on. There it is. Okay. Now, Black conservative student testifies on harassment at Iowa campus, says college is empowering leftist threats. Iowa Young Americans for Freedom Chairman Jasmine Jordan testifies before the House Judiciary hearing on freedom of speech on college campuses. A self-identified Black conservative student at University of Iowa grew emotional Wednesday while testifying before Congress about the harassment she'd experienced on campus, arguing college administrators are coddling and even empowering threats made by leftist demonstrators. Jasmine Jordan, the chairwoman of the conservative group Iowa Young Americans for Freedom, told members of the House Judiciary Committee that she discovered that the playing field for freedom of speech on college campus was not equalized between those on both sides of the political spectrum. The first time I noticed this was when Iowa YAF hosted Kellyanne Conway as speaker. In response, I was doxxed in a group chat, over 800 students, and was falsely labeled as a Nazi, a token, a white supremacist, and a bigot. Jordan said, growing visibly emotional, some individuals even expressed that I made them uncomfortable and feared that I might commit a hate crime against them simply because I'm Black and hold conservative principles. These students believe that if you are conservative, you are a hateful, support oppression, and want to benefit straight white men, even though such beliefs are untrue. The hearing billed as to discuss freedom of speech on college campuses, also centered around the rise of anti-Semitic incidents at major American universities amid the Israel-Hamas war. After anti-Israel demonstrators disrupted the hearing, crying for the ceasefire in Gaza and accusing the Jewish state of genocide, and party, the Palestinians rep, Daryl Issa, Rap California, warned that the demonstrators were unwittingly playing into the hands of Iran and called for investigations into who might be funding the unrest at the American institutions. Jordan, who said she was homeschooled until the 5th grade and raised to appreciate American principles, also detailed how her YAF chapter organized to have Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. Yes, Alan West. I love Alan West. Met Alan West, had a conversation with them. We shared the same stage at a speaking event I went to with them. And he literally watches my channel. He loves my content. And he literally was telling me, please don't stop what you're doing, young man. He said, as individuals like you who has tenacity, the gall, and also the boldness to speak with such authority that you don't care about what people feel about you. He literally told me that this is what Mr. Allen West told me. Some folks might be like, dude, you know, blah, blah, blah. I will be able to go and bring the picture out and show you that me and Allen West shared the same stage and all that. If you want to see that, for some folks that don't believe it, it don't matter anyway. Anywho, this is about Miss Jasmine, by the way. So anyway, now this says with West, she online promotion in the event was altered against school policy, with messaging claiming racism is prevalent in schools and critical race theory should be supported. While West did speak on campus on the topic of debunking diversity, equity, inclusion, and proving that America is not racist, Jordan recalled how a protester stood in the back of the event space holding up a sign that read, "Stop the alt-right, punch your local Nazi." So pretty much y'all just heard the video what Jasmine even said about this, how she is the one that's considered to be a darn threat, right? She's considered to be a threat. All the while, somebody can hold up a sign and pretty much literally in their words are showing that they are being the ones that are being threatful. They are the ones that are saying punch, punch. Now, again, y'all, I'm just telling y'all straight up. I would have a really, really hard time with this. I would have a really, really hard time with this. If Jasmine is watching, I personally told her, and I told her mom and her dad them, I would have a hard time with this. Because she literally said somebody showed up to her dorm and put their ear on the door. She was able to see them through the people. They put their ear on her door. And she felt threatened, which who wouldn't? But then to turn around and the people that she's supposed to go to and trust in to have her back and have her interest at best, they literally just pretty much blew her off. Just pretty much blew it off. Why? Because she doesn't fit the narrative. She doesn't fit on the right side of what they want her to do. How dare this black woman have her own brain, have her own mind, who grew up to be about God, country, and family? How dare she go and complain about threats to her? No, you're the threat. Why? Because she is not acting like the typical, stereotypical black woman. I guess if she has super crazy long clawed nails and big old giant long eyelashes and crazy makeup and all that, and big old giant long weave all the way down to her back, different colors, she dressed stankish, I guess then she would be heard. Now, my question to this is this. Where is all the Black Lives Matter, huh? Where they at? Where they at, huh? Where are they? Where are the NAACP people? Where are any of these so-called social justice groups? Where are the people who sit there and were marching talking about how black people's voices are being squished, the black people's voices are being suppressed, black people are not being heard, the struggle? Where are all those people at in the case for her? She literally had people tell her that she makes them feel unsafe. So what if she was to reverse that on them? Oh, wait, so you scared that you don't what? Because I'm black? Black, huh? Oh, so a black woman walking around makes you feel unsafe. Huh? Y'all see how this is playing out? This is why individuals like Joe Biden can easily feel like he can say literally in the faces of black people, If you don't know if you're for Trump or me, then you ain't black. That's the reason why he feels emboldened, because guess what? A lot of you dumb Negroes are allowing him to say it. Y'all not bucking up against him saying that. Y'all don't care about Joe Biden saying anything like that. Y'all are all along with. Matter of fact, y'all don't even like how this young woman is right here. Well, oh no, I met this woman. Her daddy is black. Her mama is black. Her sister is black. She's black. But because she don't fit the mold, all of a sudden it's an issue. She ain't black. This black woman right here, and people like myself, that's who Joe Biden is referring to. And you want to know the reason why Joe Biden can say stuff like that? Is because you Negroes say stuff like that. If you got a bunch of black people who are one-track mind, who are constantly being bamboozled and tricked and deceived into only having one way of thinking, and that's vote Democrat, 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 no matter what. We don't want to hear Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. We don't, Democrat, Democrat. If these same black people of the black community can sit there and literally say to people like Jasmine and her family and people like me, my family, that we're not black, that we lost our black card, that we coons, that we bootlickers, that we Uncle Toms and Auntie Toms, I don't know what they would call the women, but y'all get my point. If we can have black people that can literally say things like that to us, then they literally embolden white people who think just like them to say, you ain't black. These same white people who will sit there and talk about diversity, equity, inclusion, and all the things that's going on with black people, all the atrocities, the oppression, they're silencing them. Their voices can't be heard. No, she literally cannot go certain places on her campus without feeling threatened, but nobody got nothing to say about that. But LeBron James can sit there and defend a goddamn on person who was a criminal. Y'all can defend a goddamn on criminal. Oh, why is that? Oh, because that fits the mold of what we think of you Negroes. Black people ain't smart. Black people are not thinkers. Black people don't have their own minds. And if they do, you better damn them. If a black person comes out thinking, you better damn them. You better actually bamboo. You better go ahead and crush it. Crush their voices. Go and get. We don't need no Negroes thinking. We don't need to see no positive black people that got intelligent minds like Jasmine. We don't need to see that, right? But if she was twerking, if she had on big old giant peacock long eyelashes, if she was showing her butt and everything like that, and talking like that, and talking like that to my, I be on campus talking about my butt, I be on campus twerking for them, I'm twerking for the Democrat, I'm twerking for the voting, no butt. If she was doing all that, oh, she cool. Why? Because that's exactly what they think of you. That's all you good for in these people's eyes, Negroes. Y'all not even seeing this. That's all we're good for, right? You can't be no Candace Owens. You can't be no Jasmine. You can't be like Lisa Holder, who's an Illinois Supreme Court justice who I shared the stage with too and was able to get an interview from her. You can't be people like that. You got to have Red, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Those the heroes. That's who you Negroes only want. Let this happen to somebody like Cardi B on the stage. Let Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or any of them go to a college campus or something like that and speak. You see what happened to Nicki Minaj when she was talking. You see what happened with Nicki Minaj when she got this right here. What did the industry do? Wait, now you can't go thinking for yourself now. What did they do to Wendy Williams, a black woman too, right? When Wendy Williams said, "I'm not getting a clot shot," what did they do to her? Same exact thing. Wait a minute now, Negro. Don't you go thinking. Don't you know? Get back in the pocket of being who we are. Be the long eyelashes, long weave down to your back, all kind of makeup on there, showing cleavage. No, be that, because that's all you're good for. This is what they do. But you get somebody like Jasmine, who goes to college, open-minded, who absolutely 100% is saying she's open to different ideas. But the fact that she is thinking critically, the fact that she got a family that supports her and they're all about God, trust me, I know, they're all about God, carry on male and female traditional roles. Oh, hold on. Time out. We don't need you Negroes free thinking now. Don't Negroes get back in place. Get back in your place, Negroes. But at the same time, we can't even go out without worried about being lynched. We can't even leave our house without being scared of the white man. But at this Iowa school, who I guarantee you that Iowa is owned, this college is owned by white people. I guarantee you that I'm just throwing it out there. I guarantee you a huge overwhelming number of the professors and everybody there are white. I guarantee you that most probably the administrators, the dean, I guarantee you they are white. And they're all about diversity, equity, inclusion. But when it comes to this black girl who's being harassed, oh, you don't count, honey, because you're not really black. Joe Biden said so. You don't fit the mold. No, I know you may think you're black, but you're not black, honey. No, look how good your hair is. Your hair is questionable there, Jasmine. We don't know. And by the way, that is her real hair, y'all. That's her real hair. So, I don't know, Jasmine. You kind of look like you could be this, or you could be. The girl's black. But look all the avenues and different things they got to try to bring up to make it feel like she don't fit it, because want to know why? It's a smack in your faces, black folks. They would try to come up with all these different concepts, and I'm just telling you some things she's personally told me. This is what they say about her to make it seem like she don't qualify for being a black woman. Her hair is too long and too good. And she looked like she could be something else, but not black. She looked like she could be Indian. She looked like she can be from the Middle East. It all depends on what she might be wearing. They say we don't know what this is things that they try to come up with to completely debunk you from being what you are. They have to find some reason or some excuse to completely discredit you from being who you are. That's why, again, y'all gonna keep on hearing, I do not care. That's why Joe Biden can say, if you don't know that you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. What? Oh, well, that's not what he means. That ain't what he means, Ty. That's not what Joe Biden means. I mean, dude, are you serious? In other words, if you don't know if you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Because you ain't thinking and acting like I expect you dumb niggas to act. Let's keep it real. I told y'all I'm different. I'm not like everybody else that y'all see in some of these spaces, right? I'm going to tell it to you straight up true, straight up raw. That's the ideology that comes, and y'all don't even see it that way because you're so bamboozled. As long as it keeps giving us stuff, we don't care. But you know that coon Ty, and you know that coon Jasmine, her whole family, they coons. They think they better than the rest of us blacks because they get to leave the plantation. I never leave master. He feeds me. Master clothes me. Oh, yes, he does. Master gives me a whole shekel amount of pork beans. Good pork and beans, too. Master gives me food. Master gives me a nice little hut to stay in. Master allows me to see my children. Master allows me to stay with my wives. And guess what? Also, one of my children is a little bit more complected. He's a little bit more letter complected than me. I got children working in Master house. Oh, no, I know words about it. I stays out here in the field. I's too dark, but Master still is good to me. He gives me food stamps. Master gives me Section 8. Master gives me a free cell phone. Master gives me Obamacare. Ain't no way I's ever gonna leave Master. Now, them Negroes up north, you gotta be long. They beware some of them Negroes up north now. Those Negroes up north, they different. They think they better than the rest of us. They think because they free that they better than us. But all they don't know, see, they have to work for what they gets. Those dumb Negroes up north, they have to work for what they gets. I I continues to do things the master want me to do. Now, you know, there is benefits to it. The benefits is the foods I get, the house I get, the children I get to keep. That's my benefits. And master even gives me an incentive for having more children. He gives me extra food stamps. But them free Negroes, they has to work for theirs. Ooh, they stupid. Them Negroes, they show is a whole lot heap of ignorant. They ignorant up there. Literally the psychology of what they have done to any black person that has gotten away from the mental plantation. This is literally the psychology they have done to a lot of black people. Get pissed off at those black folks that have mentally escaped from the mental plantation. Look at them. Look at Ty Smith. He think he better than y'all because he made it out of the situation. Ty Smith think he better than y'all because he decided to leave the mental plantation. Ty Smith thinks he better than y'all because he decided to leave the hood mentality, the projects mentality. Ty Smith thinks he better than y'all. Y'all should hate y'all own kind because he think he better than y'all. Literally came from the same place y'all at right now, but I'm better than y'all? No, you stuck in the loop. See, I told you I'm different. You will not, and it has not happened. Every place I went and spoke to, I give it to them just like this. I give it to them just like this. If you are nice and respectful to me, I'm going to be nice and respectful to you. But if you go there with me, I'm going to go there with you. And I will say something that will hurt your feelings. Because guess what? If your intention is to try to get at me that way, I'm going to get back at you. I don't care who it is, whether you are white, whether you are black, I'm going to flame back at you because you think that we're dumb. And it's literally an insult to a lot of black people's intelligence that y'all think that we're that dang on stupid. Just sit back and take it, right? Is that what they're saying? Look, Jasmine, shut up and take it is what they're saying. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't see it, that's the real goddamn on racism right there. The fact that they think that we need to be just put into this goddamn on box, that's all we're good for. Just twerk. Negroes just rob people. Niggas just go have a lot of babies. Hoes and thoughts, whatever, just go have a lot of babies. Go twerk on some cars and some ambulance and stuff like that. Negroes keep shooting each other. Keep making music about killing your own kind. Keep doing that. But please don't be smart. Please don't think. Please don't get out of the ghetto. Please don't get out of the projects. Please don't get out of the hood. Please don't become doctors and lawyers and businessmen and CEOs. Please don't become mothers that are married to their husband and stay with their husband. Don't become none of that Negroes. Be what we always envisioned y'all to be from the time that we brought you Negroes over here on ships and stuff. When we brought y'all over in them ships, that's all we want y'all to be. Just be that. That's all you're good for, Negroes. Well, I don't like the way you saying it. So what? I'm telling you the truth. Pay attention to the actions. Pay attention to the policy. Pay attention to the agenda that they are putting in front of you Negroes' face. And ask yourself, is this for the betterment of our people? Or is it for the detriment of our people? And then let it play out. And you tell me, since the 1960s, if we Negroes have gotten better, have we gotten better? Overall, Negroes, have we gotten better? Huh? Have we gotten better? You tell me. Oh, you want me to go there? Okay. I'll go there. Post-slavery, all the way up to the civil rights movement, black people were married and together and had nuclear families more than white people. Huh? Now we're going to introduce something to you Negroes that we think is going to be good for you. It's going to be better for you. After the 1960s up to the current date, that whole thing flipped. We ain't married or anything at all. You took the bait and you're steady taking the bait right now. Let me ask you something, since a lot of folks want to go against people like Jasmine, things like that. Whatever it is that they're pushing, is it for the betterment of you or is it for the detriment of you? And if whatever it is that you want to try to figure out it is, let time play out and you tell me how much better it's gotten with those policies in place. Huh? Do y'all know that y'all might, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, it's crazy, but black people were a lot better during Jim Crow. As far as family-wise and all that, they were better during the Jim Crow. Oh, man, no, Ty, man, Ty, dude, I'm telling you the truth. But I'm going to let you know something else, too. Listen to me real close. For you Negroes that want to stay on the plantation, it's not you that I'm coming for. For you Negroes who want to stay on the mental plantation, this message is not for you. For you Negroes who just want to sit back and talk about all this, we were kings and they took from us, and black people like Ty, black people like Jasmine, they ain't a part of us. You're darn right I'm not. And I'm proud to not be. Oh, I'm not talking about black. I'm talking about that type of black people, that mindset of certain black people, that plantation mentality. I'm glad not to be a part of that. I was a part of that, but thank God I'm not anymore. I seen past the BS. I went past that southern border line. I went up north and realized we're free. And you don't even understand that you're free too. But you don't want to be free. You got the chains and everything taken off of you, but you're not going nowhere. Why? Because the good things that master still gives you. And then for them to get ready to convince you and turn against your own kind. I mean, God dang, how much more do they want from y'all of that mentality? They got, look, black on black crime. Crazy, right? Crazy, right? Yeah, it's crazy. But then to turn around and still have the same type of black on black crime by convincing black people to attack other black people who have become successful. Attack black people that don't fit the mold like y'all. Attack black people like myself. Attack black people like Jasmine. Attack black people like her family. Attack people like Brandon Tatum, ABL. Attack Alan West. Attack Thomas Sowell. Attack Larry Elder. Attack all these black folks that do not fit the mold of how we see you dumb niggas. And that's as dumb niggas. They're not a part of y'all. Oh, you think that you no. Somebody told you to say that to me. I don't think I'm I don't think I'm better than you because I got away from where you're at right now. No. You're told to say that and think that about people like myself and people like Jasmine. You're told to think that and you don't even know why. You hate us and don't even know why. Because y'all trying to act like y'all really didn't to turn around and say that she actually is for, if she's a Republican, she's for the very straight white man. God, if that's not a dumb, stupid talking point, but guess what? They can tell some of you dumb Negroes that because they know that you don't think. You just gonna roll with it. You're a freaking animal. Do what you've been trained to do, dumb Negro. Do what you've been trained to do. But don't you dare get outside that box of not doing what we trained you to do. Otherwise, you ain't black. Yeah, black people. Yeah, black people, go ahead. Woo, we got these black people hating their own kind. Woo, we got black people that are pissed off that other black people have become successful. Hey, okay, I told you I'll be going, okay. How's it going with convincing the niggers to hate their own kind? Give them booty shaking music, give them twerking, and also because the niggers, they do not care about their own culture. Let's continue to push, booty shaking and thug music. Let's continue to push them killing their own. Oh, they don't care. They don't care. Push music that says, if a nigger looks at me the wrong way, I will shoot him. Push things in there saying my coochie is pink and my booty hole is brown. Do things like that. Convince the women that all the other young women like to go out in public amongst very normal citizens and say, I'm going to be eating a man's butthole. Do things like that. That's what the black Negroes like. Give them that. Give the Negroes that. Oh, what? What is that? Who? Jasmine? Who is she? Why is she doing this? Why is she thinking? We don't want this Negro to think. Who is she? Are there any other black niggas on campus at Iowa who we can have go against her? We want to get the niggas to go against her first and make sure those niggas have white friends that will go against her too. That way they won't feel like they're being racist towards her. Yes, it's very easy. It's quite easy because the niggas don't think. We don't want them to think. Excuse me? No, we want Jasmine to get in line with the rest of the niggas at the college and think like they do. What is she getting her degree in? Not African studies? She's not getting her degree in just communications, is she? What? She's thinking? Why is that? What professors do she have? Who told her to go to college and start thinking? That's not what we send these niggas to college for. That's not why we have free education for the niggas. We don't send them to college to think. No, we send them to college to be what we want them to be. Slaves, like we've always had them be. Yeah, we're going to pay for their college so long as they get their degree in the avenues that we want them to get their degrees in. We want the niggas to be nigga haters of their own kind. Yes. That's what we want. Yeah, don't worry about it. What she's been threatened, it doesn't matter. She doesn't fit the mold. We only want them to have some news on criminals. We make sure that there's no. We don't want the righteous and upstanding Christian women to have protection. We want the ratchet horse. You know, in the streets they call them 304s. Yeah, they call them 304s. Yeah, that's 304s means hoes. If you really, yeah, it means hoes. How's the music going? How's the music going? Is there more killing? Is there more having children? Is there more things that are related to shooting each other? No. Well, no, we don't want them to be a part of the industry. Pretty much. But guess what? Here's the thing. You're going to have people, bro, you don't even know what you're talking about. You know why you would tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about? Because you're not up north to look back down to see what's going on. You only see your world. And the world that you see through your perception and your lens is the world that they're going to keep on projecting to you. It's the world they're going to keep on selling to you. And that's why, as a whole or as a people, we have not made no advancements. All this crazy stuff folks want to push out, all they want to do is keep you talking about what we was or what we did and what we built. And we were kings and we were queens and we had the most inventions and we the smartest people on the planet. And you know what? Talking about all that is going to get you where? What is it doing for you? You doing all that talking, we was kings, man. These white folks, they did this, we did that. What is it doing for you right now, Negro? It's just talking. For the next, I don't know how many years you're going to live your life, if you don't make any advancements to make yourself better, Negro, all you're going to sit there and do is keep on talking about what we was and what we did and what we created and what we invented and what we and what we saw and how we this and how we that and how. That's all you're going to be doing for the rest of your life is talking about it. What's the point of talking about it if you're not going to do something about it? What's going to happen? What good is it going to do? Make somebody else sit back. Yeah, man. That's crazy, man. Yeah, we was kings, man. Yeah, man. We built all this stuff in America, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. We did do all what and then what? See, this is what people get pissed off me about, because I'm like, and then what? And then what? Now what? So now that you know all this so-called knowledge about us being kings and us being queens, now that you have all this knowledge about us, we invented everything. Now you have all this knowledge about us, we built America. Now what you gonna do with it? They should give it back to us. They should give us reparations. We deserve reparations. You ain't getting it. Now that you know that you're not getting reparations, what are you going to do? Well, I can't do nothing. Why can't you do anything? Because, man, it's systemic racism, man. Bro, if you really believe there was systemic racism, why are you going to get your food from most likely owned grocery store that's owned by a white man? Why are you able to go in there and buy what you want to? Why is it that since there's systemic racism, that this same system is allowing you to have free Medicaid, to get Medicare for yourself and your kids? It's giving you free food. It's giving you WIC. It's giving you Section 8 housing. But the system is against you. No, it ain't all like that though, man. See what I'm saying? Because one time I wanted to try to get a job, and I know they didn't hire me because of the fact that I'm black. That's what we're rolling with. That's what we're rolling with. No, man. See, See, because one time you tried, and that was it. You stopped after one time. That's it. This is what I'm saying. This is the stuff that you deal with. This is how deeply enrooted on a whole psychological level of things that you're dealing with when it comes to Negroes and black folk. Look, y'all, be pissed off. I'm telling you the experiences that I've been going through and having for an amount of years. And the thing is, just like this, and I'm going to encourage her fully. She know I have her back. Jasmine, you know I have your back. You and your family, lovely people. Her little sister has her own little business. Don't worry about what it is. But yeah, she has her own little business. My wife purchased some stuff from her. But wait a minute. Her little sister has her own business where her little sister creates her own things and sells her own things. But her little sister can't sell nothing because the white man won't let her. Her little sister can't do nothing like that, man, because systemic racism said, you better not try to sell another little Negro, little niglet. Completely bamboozled. You should know that something is wrong, that where somebody can hit you on such a high psychological level that you are scared to make any moves. And that's why I'm so glad. Jasmine, that's bravery right there. Going on a college campus where you know you're not accepted. Does that sound like the 1950s and 60s to y'all? Hold on. Wait, does that sound familiar? Wait, a black girl goes to school, and while she's in school, she's being yelled at by white liberals. Does that sound familiar to y'all? Matter of fact, it would have been so cool to have a video of Jasmine walking on Iowa campus and having these white people yelling at her. And all we have to do is take a picture of it, right? Take a picture of it and put it in black and white. And somebody would swear it was from the 1950s, 60s. But oh, wait a minute, it's different now, right? Huh? Because you got black people doing the same thing. Black people hating on her too. Let this happen to where any black person go around and a white person say, we feel threatened. Let somebody say that about me. I feel threatened because I'm a black man. Because I'm a black man, you feel threatened by me. These dumb college campus kids, they are being trained to be nothing more than some fake virtue signaling. I need attention, crybaby, sissified, boo, 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 entitled little brats is all y'all are. No, we're not. We're going to yell at you. We're going to shut up and do something with your life, white or black. Because you know what? When it's all over and said and done, one thing is not going to stop you dumb college students. Look, not all college students. I'm talking about the ones who are going along with your college rhetoric. Guess what's going to happen when you graduate with your degree in arts or your degree in communication or your degree in activism? Guess what's going to happen? Your college is not going to be there to back you up in trying to find a job. Your college is not going to be there with you as time goes on, which is never going to stop. College is not going to be there to back you up in paying your bills, is it? But they sure will encourage y'all to go along with this agenda right now. It's a setup for you dumb college students to fail. Why is it that people that are like Jasmine, why is it that people who know what the opportunities in America have, why is it that when they take advantage of it, they do better? It's not hard. It's not hard. Why do you think they do better? It's because they're not going along with this dumb thing. College students, some of y'all may watch this video, you may disagree with me all day long, but I'm telling you right now, you are being set up to fail if you go along with this rhetoric. If you feel like, oh, because that's all it is, it's all games. You feel like you're a part of something special. You feel like you're a part of something big. You feel like, oh, everybody around me, we're all together, and these people like me. No, they don't like you. They just like the momentum that's going on right now on these college campuses. Because guess what? When you all become adults and y'all go your own separate ways, there's not going to be a group anymore. Time is never going to stop for any of us. You're going to get older. You're going to find yourself sitting around, looking around, trying to figure out, what am I going to do as a job? What am I going to do? What do I have? Hey, but at least my hair is blue or green or purple, orange, pink. At least I was out there yelling Black Lives Matter. At least I was out there on my college campus. At least I was out there marching for this and marching for that. And you're doing what with your life? Your life, which means that it's individualized, which means it's all about you. What are you doing with your life? But then you got people like Jasmine, who I guarantee you, she's going to be married one day. And I know, based off her family and their values, she's going to have a great husband. Jasmine's going to go on, and hopefully she's going to go on. You know, I got your back, Jasmine. She's going to go on and do amazing things. And I hope that what she's experiencing right now, I hope that she takes this energy, this negative energy that they're spilling at you, Jasmine. Take that negative energy and let it get in you. But you use that energy to further push for truth and righteousness, exactly like what you're doing. I don't even know, Jasmine, if you are, let me check here. If you are on a computer, Jasmine, I will send you the link and have you cam up if you're able to. Let me see here. I'm checking with her right now, y'all. Give me a second. I'm checking with her right now to see if she can cam up. So, Mama Don is still in here. And look, I know I was really going in, folks. And Mama Don, I appreciate you being here. Jesse Deadwood, my guy, Deadwood, appreciate you being in here. Okay, Jasmine said she just told me she's watching right now. I don't know who you are in the chat, Jasmine, but I am able. I don't know if you're on a computer or what, but if I'm able to, that's up to you. If Jasmine, I'm telling you the truth. If you are busy, got something going on, you don't even have to give me no excuse. Just if you're unable to come on and cam up, we're good. That's all I need to know. So here she is right here, folks. She is in the house. So let me see here. I'll be able to give you. Let me see if I can give you the link. And here's the link right here. So first, that's the link, and that's how you can tune in, Jasmine. You click that link, and I'll see you in the back green room area right there, and be able to have you cam up if you want to. But at the same time, people like Mama Don or Deadwood, if you guys want to cam up and even ask Jasmine some questions, y'all, I mean, feel free to do it, because I told y'all I was going to cover this, and I know YouTube is absolutely 100% suppressing a whole lot of this stuff that's being put out, because when you're talking about something that actually goes against the agenda, this is what they do. My video is delayed. I mean, come on now. All right, folks, we have her in the background right here. So let me get ready to bring her up. And again, Deadwood, let me see something real quick here. I see you in the back there, Jasmine. I'm getting ready to bring you up, sis. Let me get a hold of Mama Don. Mama Don, are you still in here? All right, folks, and I'm also going to leave the link that I just posted up here. I'm also going to leave that link. If y'all want to come in here and ask her a question, even if you just want to cam up and just encourage her or whatever like that, that's completely up to you guys. All right. So anyway, without further ado, folks, we're getting ready to bring Jasmine on here right now, who just again testified and gave a really, 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 really good testimony. And I'm gonna play a little bit of it again right here, and then we're gonna bring her up, y'all. So just bear with me real quick. We're gonna show this again for some of y'all that may have missed it. I'm gonna show this again.
This strong moral compass guided me throughout my journey, and I carried it with me to college. In spring 2022, I joined Iowa Young Americans for Freedom when I discovered that this organization aligned with the Christian conservative values instilled in me by my church and family. The more involved I became in the club, the more I discovered that the playing field for freedom of speech on college campuses was not equalized. The first time I noticed this was when Iowa YAF hosted Kellyanne Conway as a speaker. In response, I was doxxed in a group chat of over 800 students and was falsely labeled as a Nazi, a token, a white supremacist, and a bigot.
Hi,
There she is. How are you doing, sis?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm always good. I'm glad that you texted me and told me that you were going to be doing that, and I just sat there waiting and waiting and waiting for that video to show. And then here's the crazy thing: Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, all were like, "Hey, you see you see what's going on with this girl Jasmine Jordan? She's testifying." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So I was really like, "Yeah." She texted me and told me. They're like, "She texted you and told you." I was like, "Yeah." So
Wow.
then what I'm gonna do is like I'll text you some stuff, but it's all about if they wanted to get in contact with you. So I'll text you about that though.
Oh, that'd be so amazing. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, I will definitely pass it along. So if you're saying that's cool, I'm gonna pass it along to Tatum, pass it along to ABL and Candace. So but yeah, so of course, most people that are in here, which YouTube is suppressing a lot of folks that typically watch. Um, what was that like? Like, what was the whole before you even went out there in front of them? What are some things that were like going through your head before you even jumped out there?
Yeah, when the first thing, like when we all gathered together, they had told us that there'd be protesters getting up and leaving. And that was something that surprised me because I didn't really know that could happen in the committee meetings, and they said it's been happening more recently because not only was our thing focused on free speech, like that was the general thing, but one aspect of that was like the anti-Semitism that's been seen on campuses, and so that was the main reason why people were leaving. And so I was kind of unfazed by it because I'm used to what those people do at my school, but that was something that was just really interesting. Connor was right next to me, and he was just trying to say his speech, and the whole thing was very ironic. This is a hearing on free speech, yet they won't let us speak, which further proves our point on how conservatives' freedom of speech is being suppressed.
Wow. So, and then even if I'm not mistaken, I think that when it first came up, who were the people that you were testifying in front of? Who were the people that were up there on the stands? Do you recognize any familiar faces or names?
Yeah, so it was both Democrats and Republicans from the House Judicial Committee. So the chairman was Jim Jordan. So it was super cool to meet him. And then most of the people I hadn't really recognized. Wesley Hunt. Oh my gosh, you had to play his clip. It was like one of the best things I've ever said. Like he was talking about, I don't have to be like ashamed that I'm black and a conservative. And he said it is okay. That was like the highlight of my day. I'll have to see if I can like find it.
It was Wesley Hunt said this at the same
Yeah,
place.
he said it like directly to me because basically how they did it was Chairman Jordan would call on the person, I guess based on what state they were from. And so when it was Wesley Hunt's turn, like he said either representative or congressman from Texas, and then Wesley Hunt gave his like whole statement, and then I'm not sure if he had any questions for us.
Wow, so that's amazing because you said I'm trying to actually while you were saying I was trying to look it up to see if they have a clip of that because I would love to see that as well.
Yeah,
And
because if there's not a clip of it, you could go to the whole what is it called? The whole
pretty much see the whole
broadcast of
hearing.
it. Yeah, and then just like skip to his part.
And where was this at? Where did you have to go to do this?
I went to Washington D.C. Like it was like the Rayburn building, so it was like near the Capitol, which is so cool to like actually be that close to it in person.
Was that your first time being there?
This was my maybe third or fourth time in D.C., and this is my first time being like in that area and in those buildings in front of like all those representatives. It's very cool.
Now, and okay, so since then, wait, are you back in school?
Yes. Yeah.
So you've actually been back to school since.
Yes. Yeah, the hearing was yesterday, and then I flew back last night.
You flew back last night. So did you have class today?
Yes, I did.
Was anything said? Were you kind of looking like, okay, I'm just anticipating somebody?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, I haven't heard anything directly from like any. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've heard stuff mostly on social media, but I haven't like had really anyone come to my face about anything. because like I just don't know how many people like really knew about the hearing or anything. Because I just had one class that I went to today.
Okay, and although okay, like for example, like what you testified about what happened to you as far as the person coming up to your door. I remember you told me that when I met you and your mom them. You said it was more disheartening when you went to who?
To the hall coordinator because it was in our dorm. So I talked to someone from student accountability and she said to go to my hall coordinator and report it immediately. So I did. And that's when she was like, she had no sympathy whatsoever, and I was literally crying. And she was like, yeah, people can think, react, feel however they want to about the event, because I didn't even say that we were hosting Matt Walsh because I knew how she would react. So I was just like, my organization is holding an event tonight and some people are kind of just acting up about it, and then she just immediately knew, like I could tell she knew what I was talking about.
And she just did it in such like just a nonchalant way.
Very dismissive.
Is that person still there?
I am not sure. I would most likely, unless she's like just moved on to another job, because that's kind of what happens a lot here, that people just switch around.
And ever since then, did you even get like an apology or something from the college at all?
What's funny is I was just talking about this with my mom and my YAF board members. I had been thinking all day, I'm like, wow, I haven't heard anything from the school about my testimony. And I got an email from the Office of Student Accountability, and they said, we have no record of the death threats that you mentioned during your speech yesterday. And and I have an email chain with every single death threat that we received during the Matt Walsh event. And then my former board member said he had been sending death threats since like April of my freshman year. So there's been plenty, like every single email address pretty much from the Office of Student Accountability was added to that email chain with all the death threats received. Like I can literally pull up and like all those examples are still there. And I had even recently sent it to someone else, and all those are still there. There's no way they don't have a record of it.
So what do you mean are you saying that whenever that stuff was going down and whoever it was that you were notifying of that, are you saying that you like CC them in on the email or?
Yep.
So wait, so the college is saying they have no record or anything of you doing this, but yet you have the emails to prove that. What?
Yep. It's very disappointing.
So
this further shows they're not trying to help us whatsoever.
So so then I'm just wondering, like, oh my God, I'm different. What would happen if your response to them was sending them all those chain emails? I wonder what their response would be to that. And you know what? Honestly, I would do it anyway. But I'm thinking that if you were to do that, they would try to say, well, it must have got lost in the spam, and we don't check the spam, although the email that you're sending is literally something that is actually recognized by the intranet, they call it. If you're part of the student body and everything, it's definitely something that would be to be recognized by them, but yet they're turning around saying they didn't get anything.
And the thing is, they told me, so the ones that I know of that I sent, it was with this one person. Then I still, even though it was with this one person we were working with, I still did make sure, I'm pretty sure, to send it to like the office itself's like email address and maybe one or two other people from the office. But she told me that they had a whole case file, and every email I sent her, which is, I know it's over 50 emails, every email I sent her would go into this case file, and they would use and reference it with any of the issues we were having. People tearing down flyers, people washing away our chalk, any other harassment attacks, social media, physical, any of that kind of stuff. So she would always tell me, she was like, and even when I like met with her in person and via Zoom, she was like, yeah, I've added this to the case file. We have people looking at, and she'd always mention this like one case file within, the Office of Student Accountability. So these screenshots and messages that I've sent her that of the death threats should be in that case file that they claim to have.
Now, and with these death threats, were you able to, I mean, I'm pretty sure because it's a nice sized school, were any of the people who were making these death threats, are they people that you recognize like by name?
Well, actually, all of them were done anonymously.
They what?
They were done anonymously. So there's this app called Yik Yak. And so, we also got another death threat recently. It just came to my mind. But it's this app where it doesn't have any name identifying information. People, it's like a chat board, kind of like Reddit. So people just say whatever. So like the most recent one that is literally at the top of my head was when we hosted Chloe Cole a couple weeks
Okay.
ago. And they said, I wish all the YAF members a very violent death. And we've gotten, plenty of similar messages like that. And then also some people were just making memes about how, they want us to die. And yeah, I can't remember if we've gotten any emails that actually tie a name. I don't believe we have, but everything has pretty much just been either anonymous or accounts that like have no identifying information whatsoever.
Okay, so now the question is this. The president of the college or the dean of students, with all this going on with YAF, do you feel that I'm sorry, I'm just gonna play out. I feel they have to know
Actually,
about
I talked about it with the president personally.
Really?
Yep, and nothing happened.
Was it one of those deals where, okay, you talking with the president about it, and while you were talking to, I don't know if it's a him or a her.
It's a her.
When you were talking to her about it, did she seem at the time to actually express concern while you were telling her, or did she? I'm just being real. Did she have like the political response to it?
So I stated, the instance with like the group chat, and then the door, and then several of the other instances within my YAF chapter. And, they didn't really have much of a response. Of course, we were disappointed, whatever. But all I got, because what my aim with this meeting, this was like at the beginning of the school year, I was like, we're having 2 guest speakers, and we went through so much with when we hosted Matt Walsh last semester. It's like, I want this semester to be different. It needs to be better. It's a shame that, again, our flyers are always taken down, chalk washed away, all that kind of stuff. Like, this needs to stop, especially because it violates school policy. It obviously needs to stop. And so I, reiterated to her these instances. I even shared with her some of my like news interviews that I've done. And then she told me, she was like, okay, we'll have this meeting together and you need to come up with solutions, which I felt was kind of weird, because it's like, I'm asking you for help because you have all the power in the university. Why do I have to come up with solutions when it's these problems caused by you all? And so, like I said, shared these experiences. And then the only solution she came up with, all I want is just for an equalized playing field. Like I said, I just want our posters to be up right next to the University Democrats posters. Their posters have been up since early October, never taken down, while ours, for both speakers, and we also have been putting up pro-Israel posters. So all 3 posters taken down for the past 2 or 3 months. And so I just want our stuff to stay up, and then our chalk to stay up. That's all I want. Like, freedom of expression, they can put all whatever they want to put up, but that's not happening. And I also suggested to her, because she wanted a solution, something my mom had brought up was Pritzker had passed like an anti-doxing bill. Of course, we were against Pritzker, but I had suggested that the school adopt some kind of policy like that, because doxing happened to me, with the group chat, but it also happened in a second instance. I can't remember if I said that in my speech or not. And so they have literally nothing regarding that. And it's such a horrifying and horrible thing to have. Like, it's so bad that some people don't even want to be in YAF or in any conservative groups because they don't want to be doxxed or, any of the other crazy stalking, harassment, or any of that kind of thing. And so the only solution that she came, like, she didn't even really want to listen when I brought up that solution. She had just said that, policy takes too long to work around, and she just sounded very uninterested. And so her one solution was that we should have Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives, like, film a video of them together talking and getting along, and play that for freshmen during orientation week. That was literally all only solution, all that came out of the meeting. So I was like, at the end, I was like, okay, what can we do to get our chalk washed away? Like, what can we do to do advertisements? And they try to give us a couple of alternatives. One of those was to get an A-frame sign. It's kind of like an artist easel. So we did that, and our sign got stolen, and then now we can't even have a sign out. So
What do you mean y'all can't have a sign? Like,
yeah, so then they told us that we could use that sign to advertise our Chloe Cole lecture. So now we're hosting Yami Park next week. And so I was like, can we get the sign again to promote this event? And they said that they realized they aren't allowed to give those signs out to student groups, and sent like a whole email about that. So it's like, okay, what can we do now?
what?
Yeah.
So what? So wait a minute. So a person, she literally told you, although there are things in policy, she or whoever it was, they're telling you that it takes too much to enforce the policy.
Yeah, she had just had no interest in working around, creating a new policy or whatever. It's like, you wanted a solution, I give you one, and then you just completely dismiss it, even though it's something that could definitely be done. Because, they try to implement all these other ones, relating to diversity or whatever. And also they give us this free speech training. I'd mentioned it during one of the questions when the representatives asked me. And, it's just something every single person just, you press the button and just go through it, and it marks it as done. Because I believe we have to take it to graduate. And so, it's just something no one's interested in. It's not something that, you sit down or are forced to listen to, like, I don't know, being in a lecture or something like that, where, they actually just push leftist ideas and everyone just absorbs it. So it's like, at least have more, freedom of speech, or just something that's more objective instead of just, one-sided stuff that everyone is exposed to. Because we had to do this thing called On Iowa. So you take it, it's a course. Oh, it's Success at Iowa. And it's like this course you have to take preparing for freshman year or whatever. And it goes over orientation stuff. And like one of the big chunks of it, you have to like just put in like all your identities and all that kind of stuff. And it's like before you even step foot on campus, you're exposed to all this like diversity, inclusion, all this like privilege stuff as well. And so it's like they give no conservative aspects or sides, or encourage people, principles like self-determination, independence, things like that.
Man, that I mean, gosh, I can't even imagine. I can imagine being in college right now. It would be really, really bad for the other ones, not me, because I would raise hell like crazy. I'm weird, but so pretty much, would you say that like a lot of, I don't even know, I could even name them off the top of my head, but is there a specific like type of class that these things are coming from, these ideologies? Like, are they teaching these in certain classes, or the teachers they might be a math teacher, but then they might go off on a spill of talking about something politically related, but you can tell that they're coming from a leftist ideology?
It's like a mix of both, because like I'm in honors, and and it's really frustrating because like I do so much in honors. Literally all my stuff is honors, and so much of it is just diversity stuff. Like every single week it's some different aspect of diversity, whether it's again privilege, or like doing your identities and how they impact you going in college, serving in honors, those kinds of things. So it's that, and then I have people that I know whose professors will go on crazy rants and like sociology courses, definitely like reading ones. Like, oh my goodness, one of my professors in one of my like writing courses was like, I can't remember what it was exactly, but she literally was like traumatized by just hearing the name Donald Trump. Like,
What?
these people like just are so weak minded and so fearful of just even the mention of like a conservative name or idea or anything like that.
What that type of stuff to me, don't these people have some really, really low, I'm just saying, really, really low mental capacity to deal with certain emotions. And a lot of
And
times,
yeah, and then these are our teachers. Like then they're teaching the kids to be just like that, and then cycle continues.
it's like you're thinking to yourself, like, wait a minute, you guys are supposed to be like sort of, in other words, you guys are supposed to be like the leaders or the representation of something that we're supposed to aspire to, and y'all can't even hold it together. Somebody mentioned Donald Trump name, y'all break down and start. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and literally some of the leaders were doing that yesterday. Like one of them, she was like, every single member here is anti-Semitic. Like referring to Republicans. And then one of them, she got on her and was like, you need to retract that statement. And you should have heard how some of them were just acting up about Donald Trump. Like, nothing they were saying was related to the hearing. They were just so mad and hateful about Trump. I was trying to, like, just sit there because, I was not happy at that.
Unbelievable. So, what year are you now?
I'm a junior.
Okay, so would you say that even through your classroom times, or whatever different classes that you may have had, no matter what the elective is, do you feel like in Iowa that you can actually question the professor or question the author of the material that they're presenting from like a specific book? Or you can just tell by the tone that they definitely discourage you guys from having a difference of opinion of what they're presenting?
Some of them say, like, you can have a difference of opinion, but sometimes it might not even be the professor you're afraid of. Sometimes it's like the classmates, because a lot of people just want to. It's college, everyone wants to fit in. No one wants to be left out or ostracized or bullied or harassed or anything like that. And so that's what, like, I know a lot of people have dealt with, is like just losing friends. Like, oh my goodness, speaking of which, when I posted my picture on Instagram of me and Donald Trump, I lost over 200 followers. I thought that was funny.
Well, you know what? Things like that, though, it lets you know. I mean, folks, when it's so amazing, though, because not saying that there are not some people that's on the right that don't do this, what I'm getting ready to say as well, but it does amaze you that a lot of people can be cool with you, but the minute you actually do something like what you did with Trump, they, like, so to speak, disown you, don't want to have anything to do with you at all. Yet at the same time, it's like something like, for example, like on my channel, there's people that kind of done the same thing. And I pretty much let them know, hey, I didn't do that to you, knowing that you actually are for Biden or whatever. I didn't do that to you. Exactly. It's like, I look at that and say, okay, that's what this is all about. This is what make America so great and unique, is that you can do that. Like, if there's people that follow my channel right now that they are pretty much like a 50% Democrat, but they vote Democrat because they believe in 50 or 80% of what the Democrats really push. We don't sit there and go, you know what? I'm not your friend no more. You don't you? But at the same time, you do something like, as far as you did, like Trump, and all of a sudden, folks want to completely disown you and don't want to have nothing to do with you. I'm leaving because you, how dare you have a freedom of choice and pick what aligns with your morals and values? How dare you?
Yeah, it's just so crazy. Again, we conservatives, like, pretty much never do that to the other side. If I see my friend post a photo of them with Joe Biden, I either just, scroll past it, or just, it doesn't bother me. I don't get super mad at them about that. I'm like, okay, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Or, like, again, with our speakers, you don't see the Democrats or any of the Democratic Socialists or any of the other leftist organizations having to have cops at their events, or having protesters at their events blockade the building so that people cannot get in or out, or spill 20,000 marbles.
That was like the craziest 20,000 marbles.
I want to know how they got in with that. They were just carrying like this big jar or what? Like,
right. Or like, did everybody have, was it like, what, was there 100 students that had marbles all filled up in their backpack and they all just unzipped them? And but things like that just show me just how childish and things that they are like that, because I shared the stage with Alan West, and it was very great what he said. He inspiring words that he said, but I did see the video of him being there and how they acted towards him. And I'm just like, man, and here's the crazy thing. I tell them I know I'm different. I'm different. I'm no reputation. And what I mean by that, I'm not somebody that's scared of what my so-called association with whatever person I go and speak for, whatever organization I go and speak for. I'm not associated with none of them. In fact, they'll tell you the views that are expressed of how Ty's going to bring it, that's not our views, even though we agree with but they have to do that as a disclaimer. And what I say that for is that usually when I go to a place, I let them know, if guys, look, I already know y'all look me up on YouTube. Y'all seen some of my videos. Y'all seen some of the comedic things I do, blah, blah, blah. Y'all see where I stand on a lot of issues. I just say, be respectful. If you don't like me, you can tell me you don't like me. If you hate my guts, you can tell me you hate my guts. If you disagree with me, attack my talking points. But one thing you're not going to do is attack me, because I will attack back. And I don't care if it makes the worldwide news. I don't care. Yeah, we bring you to this report. Speaker Ty Smith went to an event at a college and He had a sign thrown at him, and the kid that threw the sign is now missing his ear and his nose. And I would be right there. Yep, I bit it off and I ripped this ear off. I told them not to touch me, and they did it. Oh well. Label me how you want to, call me crazy, whatever like that. But they're gonna see the very things that they do. There's somebody that can match that energy. I'm just saying. So that's why I mean, and I still, people still, they invite me to come and speak, and nothing ever happens to me to the extent to where I seen like with Alan West, where how he had to be pretty much pushed out of there, like they did what's her name, Riley Gaines, how they did her and
that
everything.
video is just insane. And then what happened with like the chairwoman too, how she had to be pulled into that bathroom, and what they were saying, they're like, where'd she go? We're going after her. She's our target. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And, terrifying, because it's like, how do you go back to school after that? It's like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just like, we're just trying to get through school, and they make it so hard because they're constantly attacking us. Like, it does impact us mentally, and it can cause a lot of stress, and it's like, we have to push through all of this. It's just crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, who's the one that's having the who's the one whose voice is being silenced, and who's the one that's actually literally going through the very things that they claim that they're fighting for as individuals like us? Who's literally going through it, and it's you. You are literally, like I mentioned earlier, you are literally living the experience of what our ancestors or our ones that made during the civil rights movement leaders went through. You going to school and having to worry about threats and everything like that. And I have a question too. Mr. Ryan, I see you in the background there. I see you back there. I'll bring you up here if you have something for Jasmine. But I'm gonna ask this real quick. Are there any other blacks that's part of the organization in Iowa where you're at?
No, we do not have any other Black students involved in Iowa Young Americans for Freedom.
Are there any Black organizations that's part of the Iowa campus?
Like just Black organizations in general?
If it's AKAs and Kappas or...
Yeah, we have most of the sororities and fraternities. We have Black Student Union, which, they kicked me off the executive board basically because of the group chat thing. What else? And then they also have like these safe space support group meetings for Black students. I don't know if we talked about this. They also have a Black Cultural Center on campus. They have one, for the LGBTQ community, Asian and Hispanic. I think that one's put together. It's Asian and Native American. Then they have a Hispanic one. I think that's...
What about, is there a pro BLM, a pro NAACP?
They don't have an NAACP chapter on campus. I don't believe there's a BLM group, but they're similar to BLM, there is like a Palestinian group organizing.
Wow. But, so they're cool with that though.
Yep. No one has.
And to me, I'm just saying, based off of the actions of like what you said, of them actually empowering them to do it. This is what I'm saying. When I'm saying is literally showing us, based off of policy, based off of the actions of them, is showing them what they feel about Americans, or even just students such as yourself. If you don't fit in line like they expect you to, it's like, I'm sorry, sis. I know you're Black. I know we're saying that racism is not tolerated. I know we're saying that we need more diversity, equity, inclusion, and critical race theory because you guys are so disenfranchised, y'all so downtrodden, y'all voice need to be heard. But literally, it's happening to a Black woman, and it's like, that's crazy. All right, I'm gonna bring up Ryan. I don't know if he has a question for you or me, but I'm gonna just welcome in here. Ryan, how are you doing?
Hi. Hey, I just wanted to call in, and it's the first time I call it into the show. Ty, I really like your show. I think it's great, and
Appreciate it.
yeah, I just want to say to you, Jasmine, I'm calling in because of you. I think that was really tremendous what you did, and takes a lot of courage, and they don't they probably won't apologize to you. And as far as I'm concerned, you don't need it. You're going to go very far in life. I have two daughters that recently have done the college experience, and they definitely do some things in college to make you believe certain things. So, but you have great values, and trust God, and you're going to go far.
Thank you so much.
I just
really appreciate it.
I had to call in. I was making pizzas, and I said, man, I got to call in there and tell her that. So,
Oh,
But you don't you these people think that men can menstruate. So, you don't, that's lunacy, you know what I mean? And you're fighting a religion. Like this progressive thing is a religion. It's like a cult, and uh I mean it's amazing. Like they're calling, you know, a black woman a white supremacist. Like it's like what that's crazy to me. So
Can,
uh
can
I
you
don't
even
know.
imagine like the fact that it's even, you know what I mean? Like it's actually like it's almost like you want to, huh? You know what I mean? Just like, are y'all hearing? Are y'all hearing what y'all are
Yeah,
saying?
this is not making sense, but people wholeheartedly believe and like
Yes.
spread this.
And that's why I think it's a religion. I mean, like this whole progressivism thing that men can menstruate, and I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no through human history this has never occurred, right? And then men and women are equal in physically. Like no, like they have women that are playing that they want like these men that transition to play women's sports, and I'm like, if you look at just the bench press of like my bench press is more than like 100,000 women, and I'm just some average guy in the gym. You know what I mean? So if you look at the statistics on the bench press records, it's not even close. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, men should be able to. These men that have transitioned should be able to play with women. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's insanity. So you know, you're dealing with lunatics, basically, is what I'm telling you. So they're probably not going to apologize to you, unfortunately, and it's just what you got to face. But you're going to go far in life anyway, so it doesn't matter. You're going to go far.
I really
So
appreciate that.
that's the truth. So, and but you're fighting a religion here. Um, the very fact that at Harvard they had uh, pro-Hamas rallies on the day that Hamas went in and killed they killed 1,400 people in Israel, and then they were rallying for Palestine and Hamas, and I'm like Harvard didn't even condemn that. That's what you're dealing with. It's this cult thinking. It's crazy to me. So anyway, I can't. It blows my mind. So blows my mind. But I just want to tell you I just want to call in and tell you that. That's all. So
All right, Ryan. Hey, I appreciate you doing that, sir. And
yeah,
hopefully we hear
man.
back from you again as I continue to go live and open up and have more panels on here, because I've been super busy for the past months with speaking engagements and dealing with mentorees. But yeah, I'm gonna do this more often as well. So
Okay. Yeah, I like your show, and I do think you're getting some technical stuff going on there because there's a delay, and even the chats don't show up. Like you'll put a chat up on the screen, and it's not even in the feed. So you're gonna have to get a hold of YouTube on some of this maybe, or
oh, it's shadow
you know,
banning.
is it?
It's complete. Yeah, I'm completely being shadow banned. Matter of fact, any video that I can post a video. I posted a video of me petting my dog, and I left I put in the comment section. I put in there, like when you can put up a little comment, I put in there, they can't talk, but they sure can communicate. I was scratching my dog ear, and then he did like this. They instantly demonetized it as soon as I posted it up there. I mean, it's like what?
Wow.
So yeah, it's okay though. That's the beauty behind it though, is that I have an actual career, and I don't. YouTube is not my money, so I do not care, and they hate it.
Yeah, you're
So,
doing it for the right reasons.
oh, absolutely.
So, all right. Well, I'll see you all. Have a good evening.
All
Yeah,
right,
you
appreciate it, sir.
too.
All right.
You have a good
Thanks.
one
See.
too. All right, and if there's anybody else that may have any questions or anything like that they may have for Jasmine, the link just got posted up there if you guys want to do that. If you do happen to come on and I see you in the background, you're going to have to cam up. You're going to have to wave, because we've had trolls in here before that, they'll get on here and in the background and they don't want to show their face. And it's not going to happen to me, but I've seen it on other panels where the minute you bring them up is something crazy, some type of troll, something perverted, whatever like that. And they do that just so YouTube will flag it, and YouTube will actually, even though it's not your fault, YouTube will give me a strike. So to give you guys an example, if I brought somebody up on this panel without seeing them behind the scenes, they could put up something pornographic, and then I will get hit with a strike for displaying pornographic material to you, the listening audience. And that's how some trolls do. So just want to let y'all know that. So Anyway, yeah, Mama Don, I seen you in here. You got my text, Mama Don. So, but yeah, so Jasmine, as far as your household, would you say that this is you going through schooling, and had you not had pretty much learned the principles, morals, values from your family, that you probably would easily cave if that was not really instilled in you from your mom and your dad?
Probably. I mean, everyone else I know caves so easily. Even, some of the most famous and well-known politicians, music artists, like, it's just something that's so easy for people to fall into because, you just hear so many other voices instead of, the one true voice of God, and then just having good guidance because, they just seep, especially nowadays, they're starting even younger than ever before. Is like I bring up the example of how people are transing their kids as young as 2, telling them that their penis is a birth defect, like insanity. And so yeah, especially being Black and a woman, that would definitely most likely make me more susceptible to becoming a liberal because they really cater to that population. Like you were talking about earlier in the segment with how the way they dress and the music that is played. And then kind of just a thing within the Black community is that it's always like everyone follows each other. No one really acts different or stands out. And so, when you do, then you get attacked.
Yeah, it's like, well, all of a sudden, because I can tell you right now, I know that just based off of how you are and everything like that, I know you got the whole thing of you talk white, you act white. Like I mentioned earlier, I just knew because I got a lot of people that I mentor that they get that same exact thing. The hair, they start, well, you ain't really Black because your hair, well, you don't even look like
I get that so much. Oh my!
Like, how you Black and your hair look like that? You mixed with something.
Yeah, or then they'll be like, "Are your parents mixed? Are your grandparents mixed?"
Well, you had somebody white in your family along the lines. It might have been your great grandfather, and you just happened to get the gene. Everything to discredit you from being Black. The sad part of
just just non-important stuff. Like you don't need to focus on race so much. It doesn't have to be your only personality trait.
Well, you have to deflect and talk about your physical traits and make them focus on that, because what it would do, it would derail them from you having an actual brain. It's like, okay, get my like a lot of times if I go and speak somewhere, I just lay everything out that I know that they probably gonna say about me. And now that we got the fact, and now that we got it out that I'm a coon and I'm a Uncle Tom, I got the cup right there and all that to sip from it. I'm like, now that I got all those things away, now what can they hit me with? Then they stuck and they malfunction. And then all of a sudden it becomes a thing to where now they want to just throw shots at you and talk about you, call you names and everything like that. And I usually would tell them, I let them know I'm going to be called these names. And then I'm going to tell you, this is what you call me when you have nothing intellectual to say to rebuttal what I'm saying. And then from that point on, that's when you just malfunction, because they really have nothing to give you back. Why? Because when you are presenting the truth and you're presenting the facts, there is no arguing against that. And since they know that, they have to, well, you ain't trying to be us anyway, because look how you talk. And your hair all black and silky and straight like that. See, they have nothing else. When you're like, okay, I'm not even talking about nothing physically related. I'm talking about the opportunities, and I'm talking about what we can do, how we can advance. And all y'all want to talk about is what I look like. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's like that quote where when
come on up, reckless.
Attack your character, that's how you know that you're right, because it's like they have no other arguments left.
No. And I mean, and you know what's sad though, is that I mentioned it earlier. I told him, I said, I guarantee you, just based off me and your family, my wife and your mom, they talk a lot. And I just said, based off of me and your family, everything like that, I said, I know, and I mentioned it earlier, and it's the truth. I can say it to her face that you most likely gonna have a traditional setup when you married, gonna have a great husband, gonna be a great wife, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing is that as life goes on and you get into that place, you're the one that's winning. But the ones who they expect you to look like and act like and be like, the sluttiness and all that, the twerking, the eyelash, the long hair, those ones, you never see them married and in long-term relationships at all. But yet they push you to be that way. So to me, that's what I tell people all the time. Look at what they're trying to tell you to do. If they're pushing you to be about that life and like that culture right there, and the end result is you being alone with a bunch of kids, that should tell you who really is for you and who's against you.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Reckless Ray, I saw you in the back there, sir. You said you was going to come up. I don't know if you got the link yet, or you might pop up there, but let me know. Because he's another one. I like Reckless Ray. He's pretty cool. If you have any questions for Jazz Reckless, let me know, sir. Well, you know what to do. Here he is. There we go. What's going on, man? Long time no hear.
Dude, you haven't been live in a minute. I was like, I gotta tap in before my show. I was like, I gotta come stop in and say what's up to my homie.
Yeah. Have you seen the video with Jasmine?
No, but I was listening on my way home, and that is it's wild. And you know, it's interesting how once you have a dissenting opinion, the mob wants to turn on you. Like that's the funniest part of it. But I mean, you know, the truth is, though, this isn't a team. This is a country. This is America. I mean, you look at what's been going on with the conflict that everybody's talking about, and you know, I hope both teams win. I hope everybody has fun. And I hope that I don't have to pay for it, because as an American, I'm sick of paying for things that are not here first. They're currently undercutting us as Americans. And like, we can break this down. And what they've done is they've made this a team sport. This country does not run like that. No country runs like that. It's a weakening of our society is what's happening. We'll sit here and we'll go, oh, you know, like we shouldn't allow them to do this because it's outlandish and crazy. But at the same time, every time we fund a war, your money, MRM's money, my money, your wealth is being extracted from you via your buying power and sent to those countries. We've been funding Israel over $100 billion since they started filling that country with our money, but we're not supposed to talk about reparations. We've been paying reparations to them since they started immigrating to that country because they weren't there. With our money, we pay for that because our government does not make money. They utilize our money. We're the backers of those loans. We're the ones who service those loans. Anything that's not involved in this country that they're talking about, oh, we've got to send them more money, we've got to get them some help. No. People are starving here. Veterans are out on the streets here. Resources are being taken from people here. Look at what they're doing in Chicago. They're literally taking resources from our people.
Man.
To give to people that walked over here illegally just because it makes some people feel good, but who dies? Who gets to freeze now? Because they kicked Americans out of shelters to make room for those people. Where are they sleeping? What happens to them when it gets cold? Because they're not getting a tent city. They're not getting hotels. They're not staying at the police station. They're not staying at the schools. So, like, as much as I hate the stuff that the left does and the way that they do things and the way that they've started to navigate because they're being utilized more than we are, our team is trying to send money to Israel.
Facts.
That affects you. That affects us. And that's supposed to be the people that are aligned with our values that we voted in. And no one's holding them accountable either. But because the left is so outlandish, it's almost like a really good sleight of hand, because they're both doing the same thing. They're taking the wealth away from American citizens and extracting it and moving it offshore. Exactly like what they told us that the immigrants that were coming here were going to do. This used to be a conversation in the 90s and the 2000s about why we weren't supposed to like immigrants because they extract wealth from this country. Well, our government, as of now, ever since this whole pandemic happened, has been extracting wealth from the citizenry of the people who elected them in. They have weakened us. They are continuing to weaken us. The agendas that they're putting forth are weakening us. And by us, I mean the U.S., us. As a country, as a nation, and as a civilization. And we're supposed to be the standard. I mean, just look at what they're doing. They're sending these kids. Women aren't coming out of college looking beautiful like you, girl. They're coming out with blue hair, 800 pounds, looking like mailmen, coming out looking like linebackers, and mad and angry at the people who made it so that they could be that way. I'm just saying, they're not coming out like her. Like, I know, because whenever I'm on the road, I'll go stop in a college town. I look around, I'm like, this country's doomed. and they got the poor guys that are going to school with you running around confused, mad that they got genitalia that they got. They upset. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So it's I understand the road that you've chosen to walk is a hard road, but the thing that you have to keep in mind is anything that is weakening our society at this point, we have to be vigilant against. We have to call out when they're sending money away and extracting our buying value, or they're messing with the money. They're creating slaves by affecting the money. That's the first level. They're making us beholden to them, which is a dynamic that is against the way that our government's set up. They work for us. We are not beholden to them. They're beholden to us. And we keep acting like, oh, they've created a class for themselves in Washington that is separate from the rest of us. And that needs to be addressed. It needs to be checked. Because like we have people, they burn a Palestinian flag during one of these protests and the counter protests, and they got into a fight over it. Fist fight. Whole fist fight broke out because they burnt a Palestinian flag. Why don't Americans give a shit about our flag the way they do? I'm sorry for cussing, but why don't we care? Why is it okay to burn our flag? And these people will throw down in our country that we allow them to be in over their flag. Like that, the values here have fallen to such a level that it's no longer okay to be proud to be an American. It's no longer okay to be defensive of our flag. It's no longer okay to be defensive of our country. And that's how outside interest defeat us.
And that's what I was saying about that would even with Jasmine right there. It's like, it's been, for the past 2 years, especially during the George Floyd stuff and all that. But at the same time, you see how black women got inserted in there. Black women have it hard. Black women this, black women that, black women that, and racism this, and but then yet Jasmine goes to college and it's literally happening to her in real time. And then it's, she a different type of black. She's not the black that we're talking about. But I mean, we get that she's black, but she's not the black that we're talking about. It's like literally been put in her face. And what really pisses me off about it a lot of times is that you have the only reason why they are saying it and doing it is because they see that there are other blacks that are not defending her or saying it about it. So they figure they can say it themselves too, be it black or if a black person is saying to Jasmine, you just you a coon, you a this, you a sellout, then guess what? You got white folks saying about her too. But then yet at the same time, we supposed to be pissed off as white folks call us those things that they're calling her.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, how are we supposed to have an accord? Like, that's the reason I always tell people there's not a culture. We don't have a black culture here. We don't.
No,
we don't. And like, if we're going to have one, it has to be reset. We have to cut out the cancer and we have to let it wilt and we have to let it go the way of all flesh, which is the way that it's going anyways. They need to be left alone. We have to divest from them. And those of us who are navigating on the correct path, the path that is actually pro strengthening this country, that cares, that has standards, that has values, we just got to start marching with the people that rock like us. And that's the only way that we're going to have a culture, because look at what they do to those of us who try to change the narrative, who stand counter, who think independently. Look at what they do. Black culture, if you want to define it, honestly, cannibalizes its light. It doesn't want anything that's going to shine. It doesn't want anything that's going to produce anything that's worthwhile. We kill it. Even when they tell you got to go back and save everybody. I don't believe in it. Look at what they did to Nipsey. Look at what they've done to people who go back. Next thing you know, a news story because somebody who couldn't deal with where you're at in comparison to where they're at, instead of trying to get the game, instead of trying to get on the team, they just want to snuff it out. That's black culture.
Man, reckless man. Like, man, it was such an honor, dude. Last week or so ago, we have our a black woman who is an Illinois Supreme Court appointee, and I got to interview this woman on the stage in front of a ton of folks. And this is a black woman, bro. And the thing is, just hearing her story of how she is where she is, like she had the same support that Jasmine has. She had both parents. They really pushed her for the education. This woman is an Illinois Supreme Court, right? Supreme Court justice. Would you believe, bro? She literally has things in place where she is literally her. If you talk about pro-black, this woman put things in place to where she's saying if a person has committed what we call a non-violent crime, maybe they stole candy bars, maybe they were always shoplifting, or maybe they were caught smoking weed and they went to jail for it. She is pretty much putting things in place to say this should not be on the person's record when they go and apply for jobs that they committed a felony. She's trying to eradicate that, and we know, based on where she's at and where she's from, this is really pro-black. And would you believe, because the woman is red, she a sellout. This woman is a coon. I bet she married to a white man. And no, she's not. I met her and her husband. Her husband is blacker than me, way darker than me. And same exact thing, man. And you know what she told us? She told me and my wife too. She said the worst. She said she tried to come back to this area where she came from. And literally be pro-black to try to keep, as a lawyer, to keep them out of jail, to say, hey, this marijuana selling, he did not do nothing violent. I understand that he was smoking. Look, I understand that he stole, over the course of 3 years. I understand that he stole over 150 candy bars, but this don't need to be a felony. They're just candy. She is being completely dragged through the mud by guess who? Guess what color? Illinois Supreme Court judge. So she pretty much told us, the ones she says pretty much she encouraged us to keep doing what we're doing. She said there's going to be some that are going to listen, that's going to jump on board, pull them out. And she said she absolutely loved the analogy of us just reaching down to the ones on the mental plantation and letting them know, hey, y'all still can come up here, up to this northern area and be free. Some going to bite and some are not.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is, Ty. It's people are like the environment that we're in. It's an escalation, and like I always look at it from a mental health field, and like I saw this with the letter mafia community probably about 2 years ago. I was like, oh, this is just escalation, and it's just like dealing with a child, like an unruly child. Like they're not necessarily being unruly because they're actually bad kids. It's how they're reinforced for the behavior. So if a child wants attention and you're not giving it, they're going to act up, and then when you look over, even if they get in trouble, if that's the only attention that they get, they'll take it. So now you've got a child that perpetually acts up because that's the behavior that gets him attention, instead of going, are you trying to get it? Like, what's the reason here? Give them a little bit of attention and see if the behavior stops. Like we go, no, we're just going to discipline them. But like, think about it. These people are getting all these policies, all these concessions. They can technically run around unimpeded. You can go commit HR violations to somebody of that community and nobody can say nothing or they get fired, right? But it's never enough. Oh, well, we've given you everything. Well, what do you want now? I want my grandpa to be able to go to school in a dress and read to kids with his junk hanging out under it. You gonna let us do that? No, like we're upset. Like, why? Why are you upset? But like, if you think about it, it's an escalation. Everything that they've asked for, they've gotten. And then they just keep asking for more goofy, crazy stuff. Because they don't care about getting the policies passed. It's about the attention. It's
you know what? That's funny that you said it, because Jasmine just got done saying how, what was it, Jasmine?
Yeah, I was like, this connects so well. It's obviously broad, like you said, but it translates directly to college campuses.
100%.
What did you say, Jasmine? You had some, what was it, the thing with the policy that happened with you? I know, but I'd rather have you explain.
Yeah, so with Walsh, for instance, the school released a whole bunch of pro-trans affirmations, like they were posting them on all their social media, saying like, trans people are valid, trans people are welcome. But not only did they do that, these are school departments, but they also had a week's worth of activities from hosted by like the Pride House, which is the cultural house for the LGBTQ community.
Mhm.
But they also had some other school organizations putting on things. So they had like different solidarity celebration spaces where everyone could feel safe with our event coming up and feel welcome. They even had one where they learned how to organize and begin protests. I was like, wow, that sure is nice. So yeah, a lot of the school, they also released statements. We had at least 12 student organizations condemning us and calling for us to be suspended from campus, just again because they said that we used a slur and thought that Matt Walsh was a fascist, a bigot, that typical stuff.
They don't
Dude,
know
I
the definition.
wish I would have known that he was up there. I would have came up for that. Like, to be honest, I was like, that's close enough. I was like, I would have drove up there. I was like,
Wow. What was you about to say,
I'm
Mama
older
Don?
than all of y'all, probably put together. No, I'm just kidding. But I remember a time along in the 70s, there was a TV show, y'all probably know it, Good Times. And there was an episode, and I was little, and I remember worrying about it. And I was like, I think it was Michael, the kid, he said, the school standardized test isn't fair to Black people because they're asking questions about things that, we're poor. We don't have cup and saucer. How are we supposed to know that? I was poor too. I didn't, we didn't have a cup and a saucer. We were, but I knew what it was. And I was confused. And I said, how come they don't? And see, that's the whole thing with Democrats. They always, I guess, put Black people or minorities in a box and say, this is all you can do. You can't do anymore unless we help you. And to me, that's more racist than anything anybody else has ever done, is when you tell someone because of your skin color, you're not able to succeed unless me, a white person, helps you. And it's been like that since way back then. I mean, until America is really, truly equal, and I mean everyone equal, not, we're giving special treatment to certain people because of who they have sex with. That's ridiculous. Who cares? I don't care. Just keep it at your home. I don't care. But that's what we're doing. We're sitting there saying, hey, I'm going to let you have this because you have sex with someone who's, got the same gender as you, or don't have a gender, or I don't know, confused and think they're a monkey or a elephant or something. I don't know. Whatever they're, what are they called? Furbies or something?
oh,
I'm like, it's gone too far. If we don't, just turn back to common sense, our country's gone. It's done for. And like you were saying about the money, people who actually pay taxes, like me, I hate it because I know where my tax money goes. And it's not to anything that I want or my family needs or anyone I know needs. I would rather be able to say, hey, I want to donate my money to this or this or this. I don't care that Michelle Obama, who's almost a billionaire, has a state park. I don't care. I don't want to give her my money. But our money goes to that. Our money goes to Ukraine, which is a bunch of Nazis, if you ask me.
facts.
But, that until our country gets back to common sense, we're doomed. And I don't know that we will.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know what else is funny? Like, in regards to your point about the Democrats and how they like to put Black people in a box and it's racist, because actually it is. The reasoning behind it. Like, have you ever honestly, have you ever talked to a Democrat as anyone who's Black? Because I've talked to a bunch of liberals that are in a better position than you, that are trying to actually have that conversation, because like I haven't. And like normally the conversation boils down to like, well, I understand you think I'm a victim, but I wouldn't trade places with you because my life's better than yours and I'm wealthier than you.
Wow.
Like, Like, I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, you're talking outside of your class if you want to be technical. Because, like, if we're having a better, like I'm better than you at literally everything. So, where's my victimhood at? Tell me. Because, like, I honestly feel like most of those conversations where those people are ardent and want to argue with you about it, they want to feel superior than someone else. So them having to help you, them being able to tell you you're a victim, makes them feel better.
Wow.
They're very superior to everyone else. Like,
yeah,
oh, I can help you because, I know more than you. You didn't have the same girl. You know what? There was a girl I went to school with. She was poor and she was Black, and she was valedictorian the year after I graduated. I mean, she was really smart. And her family was her mom. She just had her mom, and she had like 3 brothers and 2 sisters. I mean, they were poor, but that didn't stop her from succeeding. I mean, being poor doesn't stop your brain from working. I don't know. I mean, Jesus wasn't rich, but I'm guessing he was brilliant. But that's their logic is, well, you didn't have the same things I had. So therefore you can't learn at the same capacity that I learned. And they're very superior, to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, my mom always talk about how for all the Black student scholarships, they have the lowest GPA compared to any of the other races. This is not only at Iowa, but other schools that I was looking at and applying to. And it's just so disheartening that, they think Blacks can't achieve a higher GPA, that they have to have it lower than anyone else's for literally a scholarship. Like, a scholarship is supposed to be an award based on, your accomplishments, successes, and achievements. But if you're just giving them a scholarship because of their skin color, then not only that, but giving them a lower one because of their skin color, that is so wrong.
Right. Well, it hurts more than it helps. I think it was, I can't remember who it was. He said that, because he was a college professor, and I don't know why I can't think of his name. I'm getting, Alzheimer's, but he actually,
don't claim that.
Well, I can't think of this. Thomas Al. That's it. He said that, as, people who graduated and go to college and they would let them into like Harvard. He said if they would have went to another school, they would have done, 10 times better. And they wind up, quitting school because they can't succeed in these schools that are, more difficult. They're hurting people by telling them, hey, you don't need to know math. See, they're trying to take math. Say, oh, you don't need math. That's racist. How is knowing how to get your money? I mean, what are you saying? It makes absolutely no sense. I don't understand it. And
it's intentional misdirection to make people that are cogs that can be controlled. Like, you don't need to know math if I have no intent for you to move up in the system that we have set up.
Yep.
You don't need to know math if I don't want you competing with me for resources. 100%. Please don't. Like, and when we have those, whenever I have those conversations, I always let people know, I'm like, I'm happy that you're poor. Like, it makes me happy that, like, I ain't got to worry about competing with you because you're dumb and you're poor. Like, you're going to stay where you're at. You'll never catch up to me, and you can keep your dumb opinion there. Like, that, I have solace in that. Like, I'm happy that every racist person I've ever met that was actually racist was poor. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm never going to see you anywhere that I go, ever.
that's the whole education system now is.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, the best way to take over a country is, to nullify who they are and what, if of them are stupid. Well, of course, anybody can come in here. We're letting 100%. All these people in. We don't know where they're from. We don't know who they are, but it's racist if you want to know who they are. But if I was to go to any other country, I would have to have my ID and some sort of passport and all this other stuff. And if they saw I had any kind of criminal background, most countries would not let me come to their country. I mean, why is America so only thing I can say is we're trying to please everyone but the Americans.
Right. But you know why? It's because we don't own, like, Chicago don't own their own streets, man. They don't own the street. They sold the street.
Yep.
They don't own their streets. We don't. Most of these people that are having to move 8 and 9 times, that are getting their rents hiked up hundreds of dollars at a month's notice or less, Americans don't own those buildings. Our birthright has been purchased and sold out from underneath us for quite a while.
And that's why people getting pissed off at Donald Trump. He's sitting there saying Joe Biden is selling off America. And that's why, and I'm just being honest, that's why I'm saying the things like even with Jasmine, the things that are happening to her on that college campus is letting me know who America has sold that stuff off to and why they are allowing it to happen. Because that makes no sense to me that they do all this pro-black this, pro-black that, fist in the air, Black Lives Matter and everything like that. But the minute you don't act like the stereotypical Negro that they portray you to be in all these TV shows and rappers, the minute you don't act like that, you're not black. You're not included. Matter of fact, we don't care if white people call. I bet you, I'm telling you, if they was to call her anything, even if they dropped the N-bomb on her, they probably don't care. Because it's like, well, she deserves it. Well, she does deserve it. She deserves to be called that. She deserves to be treated like that because, oh, she's not acting like the typical black folks we see displayed in Hollywood house or whatever, Atlanta housewives and basketball wives and all that. She don't fit that mold. So now it's okay if they say it to her.
Yeah. And that's how you know that these people's intentions aren't pure. Like when you see people that are liberal, that are white, that as soon as they come up against a conservative black person, that they know won't hit them because they have class. Me, I'm like modern Renaissance. Like we grew up in a different age. I'm classless. Like I will tear you to pieces and I'll enjoy it. Like I let them know. I'm like, look, this conversation can go one of two ways, but I'm like, once you cross a certain threshold, we're just men.
Yep.
And you need to understand what that means. And if you don't, you need to make sure you stay clear away from that line. Don't even tiptoe up to it.
Yep.
Like don't find out because I'm different. But when they find these people that they can make targets out of and they can do stuff like that too, they will. And I'm like, so you can't say that you're on the up and up, that you're just, that you have a valid moral high ground and you're just the pristine good person who wants to help the disparaged. If like the second you get a chance to say some racial slurs and get away with it, you got these things locked from months ago, like you've been saving them in a bag.
Yeah, I mean, man, they come with it strong. I mean, when you have it, like I said before, because it happened on this channel where if I have somebody that are black and they're calling me coon, Uncle Tom, porch nigga, and all that, if they're calling me that to mean it as a racial slur towards me and they're black themselves, then a white person says the same thing. The black folks have nothing to say. I'm like, they literally just called me a house nigga in front of y'all. Well, it's because you are what? Hold on.
No.
I mean, it's so crazy to me, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But,
and honestly, like in her case, in Jasmine's case, I promise you, I'm like, it couldn't be my daughter.
Nope.
And I'm talking about because of where I come from and my family association. That already knew, wait, who did this? Who? Because I mean, I forget what Jasmine was. I don't know who it was, but was it a white guy that came and put his ear on your door and all that?
Well, it was a trans person. It was a guy who claimed to be a woman, but he is.
No, that was a white dude in a dress. Let's call it what it is. Go ahead, proceed.
Exactly. Wow, the irony and the poetic justice in you just saying that. Called him. But I'm just saying, and like I just say things like, man, it's just that you just don't know who it is that you're messing with. Yeah. I know her family and all that. They are really, really great, fine people. But then what if her dad, Jasmine's dad, what if he was my uncle and my family association with Chi-Town? They're like, now who said what to Jasmine? What they look like? And all of a sudden this person came up missing or with some bullet holes or something in them. I'm just saying, that's why I said people, y'all, it's getting to the point to where they have pushed certain individuals into that corner. And now you're seeing those people like the own bodegas. They are tearing folks up with bricks and sticks, and they grabbing women and sumo suplexing them and everything. People at a point to where, hey, it's starting to swing the other way, man.
Well, no, and the thing is, it's like we, and this is the thing. The way that they navigate, honestly, we need some of that. We need some of that on this side of the line. We need to defend each other. We need to care. We need to look out for each other. We need to have every single one of the machinations that they're using. We need to do it. Like there's literally no reason that they should be able to spew blatantly wrong, societally wrong things. And none of us say anything. Like, it's upsetting to me that the last time when they went up to the school board meeting, the last time that we had a throwdown was when the foreigners went, because they were like, we don't want this with our kids.
Exactly.
And when they showed up to counter protest and stepped out of line, they whipped that ass.
Yes, like, you know, it's so interesting dude, because okay, like you know, that whole thing, like when I did that years ago at my son's school board meeting, when that went viral. Yep. It snowballed into a whole lot of, I mean, still to this day, I'm getting emails and stuff and invites to go speak at these different places to pretty much push these parents to go and take up for their kids. And it snowballed, right? And what's funny about that is that by me doing that, I get placed by the Department of Justice on a domestic terrorist list. But then the people that are Muslim, don't get me wrong, all power to them. They stand up. They did more ratchet stuff and craziness than I did. And not a drop. They didn't get placed on nothing.
Yeah.
And they didn't. That mean that little whole scare tactic of them doing it to me, that didn't do anything at all. It was just a scare tactic. Like I was going to be. Of course, I'm not scared to go outside my house and talk to anybody. It was just a scare tactic. But the point is just the hypocrisy in it. Where I mean, dude, I tell people all the time, man. If you want to know how you are being treated and where you stand as Americans, just pay attention to how they're treating us. Because my family up in Chicago let me know when they told me, hey, you know that after school program you come and speak at, when they said, oh, they actually didn't even give the parents a warning. The parents showed up to drop the kids off so they can go and work, or, you know, most likely single mothers dropping their kids off at the after school program. And they told them, actually, we're closed down because we got to house the, in quote, migrants. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Well, we don't know, but we just told that y'all can't bring them here no more. And who did that affect the most? Negroes, the same people that they claim are disenfranchised and downtrodden, and we don't get, and literally are putting it in their face, and they're not saying nothing about it. Just take it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't watch a movie or a TV show or anything where they don't have the victimhood of a Black person. And I'm like, really? Every show? I mean, almost every show I've watched, you know, just somebody's a Black person's being, you know, somebody's being racist against them or coming after them or something like that. As a Republican, I've been a Republican since I was able to vote. And I have been audited 6 times. I don't know hardly anybody, but I've been very outspoken on Twitter. I've been kicked off Twitter twice. I've been kicked off YouTube. I don't think this is a different thing. So I don't know if they're listening, but I've been kicked off all of it for speaking my mind. And what I said wasn't worse than the people coming on, cussing me out, calling me all kinds of names, threatening to kill me, find out where I live, kill my children. But I said something, I don't know, I probably can't say it, but I'll do a little, I don't know.
We got you.
I said that being wackadoodle, you know, about not knowing if you're a boy or girl was a problem with the brain. But I said it different. And kicked off Twitter. And this was why Elon Musk was on there. I was kicked off for saying that. And I'm like, it is a brain issue. Either that or it's a popularity issue. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it just exploded. Nobody knows if they're a boy or girl.
Yeah.
You know, or if they're a thing or it or a Furby or whatever they are.
Yeah.
As an older person, it's really disconcerting because you didn't grow up with any of this. This is just, I mean, it's beyond anything. Even the Democrats had a little bit of sense back then. I mean, we still had the abortion issue we were against, but now it's just plain senseless ignorance.
It's healthcare.
It's God has turned this world over to this, you know, just a brain dead. Oh yeah, that sounds good.
I would say he's giving them what they asked for.
Yeah, and
he's literally giving. Matter of fact, you know, like okay, like just, you know, I'm just using this as a metaphor, but like when Jesus was standing, you know, in front of all the people, And this man who came along pretty much doing like what a lot of us do, like what Jasmine's doing, what Ray's doing, what you, Mama Don, when they're coming and you just talking about truth, and Jesus come along speaking truth, righteousness, peace, encouraging them that they can have a better life. And when they beat him and put him in front of all the people still wanted the murderer.
Yeah.
They still wanted the murderer. They was like, no, we don't want Jesus. We don't want the man who hasn't hurt anybody physically. All he did was preach truth and heal people and gave them, encouragement, a better life. Look out and all. But we don't want him. We want the murderer. And it's the same exact thing today. We don't want the Jasmines. We don't want the Mama Dons. We don't want the Reckless Rays. We don't want the Thomas Souls. We don't want the Larry Elders. We don't want the Candace Owens. Oh, we want the thugs. We want the current rappers, the current ratchet rapping female artists. We want the Reds. We want them. We don't want no decent folks. We don't want that. And the thing is, when they got rid of Jesus, they seen that life got worse for them. So it's the same exact thing here. I keep saying it, I'm going to keep on saying it. We that's on this panel right now, Mama Don, you already there, but Reckless Ray, Jasmine, we are still going to continue to progress, do good and do well, while the rest of the world, they on, like, I know we say things like, God has gave them up, but actually it's pretty much like, no, they chose Barnabas. They chose it ain't that he gave them up, it's that they chose the murderer.
Well,
and then cry about it. I can't believe we can't look. They let these immigrants come in here and they taking all of our y'all asked for it. Y'all literally asked for it.
Well, if you look at all these judges setting free all these rapists, and then to me, I feel like if one of these men who've raped somebody and this judge lets this guy off, or just 2 or 3 years, and he does it again, if that's my family, I'm suing. I don't give a crap. I'm suing that judge. That's who I'm going after. I'm suing the judge. I don't care about anybody else, but I mean, they keep letting these horrible people out, acting like, oh, well, they had a bad life. I don't care. You still got a brain in your head that tells you, hey, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. I don't care who you are. Unless you're mentally, I probably can't say that word either, so I'm not. Yeah, I got kicked off for saying that too.
Well, supposedly things have changed when it comes to that, Mama Don. Matter of fact, I think there's some proceedings going on right now with them actually going after the Biden administration for actually censoring people with free speech and thing that they're saying on here. Because I mean, it doesn't make sense. You can sit up here and play videos of saying I'll kill a nigga. Even the fact that I'm even to say it right now, I'll kill a nigga, I'll smoke a nigga. I can say all that. But the minute you say y'all have actually gender dysphoria, and all of a sudden the stream, Mama Don, you remember Mama Don is old school with me. So Regulus Ray, y'all, she's been with me. She actually is the first person that I've ever talked to. Once I started YouTube, she's the very first person that I've ever talked to. So she can tell you about nights where Mama Don, am I lying? When we talked about Jesus, the stream would just start messing up.
What?
Dude, many nights, Regulus Ray. The minute I start talking about Jesus and we talk about God, the stream started just completely buffering. And then all of a sudden, there's been times where I just completely got cut off.
Oh, wow. That's crazy, man. That is crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can sit there and talk about Muslim religion. You can talk about Buddhists. You can talk about Satanists, but you can't talk about Jesus. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. I don't know. But like I said, I've been audited like 6 times. And when you make a certain amount of money, they go after you anyway. They got to make sure, that you're paying your fair share. I pay more in well, my husband, I don't work anymore, but my husband pays more in taxes than most people make. And when I have to pay that, it actually hurts me when I go when I go see our accountant. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to know, how much more we owe. We done pay, $110,000. How much more do I owe?
Right.
It's always more. It's never to the good for me. And then people who don't work at all, don't make anything, don't pay anything, get back $10,000. And I'm like, how do you do that?
Well, it has to be more. I mean, we've got so many wars that we have to fund.
Yeah, and it's just
right. Like you gotta pay your fair share, right?
I pay more than my fair share. Well, see, you don't just pay your federal, you pay your state, you pay your Medicare, you pay your Social Security, you pay that FICA or whatever that is. And then every single time you buy something with that same check that's already been taxed,
Yep.
by the way, you pay
Yep.
more taxes.
Yeah.
And then I had to pay more taxes on that same check for, property taxes or just, it's ridiculous. I hate taxes. If it were up to me, I'd abolish the IRS. That's what I would do.
Isn't
Yep,
that what I think was it Trump that was calling to do that?
Yeah, they need.
Wasn't he calling to do that? Like if he gets back in, he's going to try to abolish it.
Yeah.
They're going after. I don't care what anybody says. They know whether you're, because most of the time when you fill out that little paper when you register to vote, you put whether you're a Republican or whatever, and they know. The IRS knows that. So I think they go after certain people. I know I've been after enough. Every time.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what's really funny about that, because like even in her case, I think, what did you say, Jasmine? The minute they saw a picture of you with Trump, like you instantly lost like 300 somehow.
Yeah.
You have to be careful. I mean, they'll probably go after y'all too. I mean, you just don't. When you start making a certain amount of money, they're going to come after you because they know you're a Republican. I don't care what anybody says; they're going to do it. They'll do it if they see you. If you are out there at all, like I said, I've been kicked off all these Facebook, all of them, for just telling the truth. Twitter 2 or 3 times. I don't know how many times on here. I got kicked off my son's. I used my son's account and got kicked out. So I mean, you have to be careful, because once they find out who you are and that you're a Republican, they'll go after you. The FBI's went after certain people. I mean, you just don't know. Like if I was to go and rally against abortion or whatever, who knows? The FBI could be at my door like it was that one man's. You just don't know. Being a Republican is dangerous nowadays.
That's crazy.
She knows. She knows. She's like, I went through it just because of the way you vote, which is, why do you care how I vote? Just worry about how you vote.
Exactly.
And let the chips fall where they may.
See, that's hard to do though, because she don't fall into the mold of what they expect a lot of Negroes to fall into.
Again, they're trying to tell you how you should think, how you should act, and put you in a box and tell you can't do this. This is all you can do right here. This is it. Because you're a Black woman and that's it. This is what you can do. It's racist, but they don't even see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they think Black people can't be racist. But they're always racist, towards white people. And they get away with it.
Well, my daughter-in-law's Black. And she knows I love her today. I love her so much. I just adore her. She's sweet. But she has people who do not like her because she does not talk the way they think she should talk.
Yep.
Went to college. And they hate her. And they sit there and they call her names. And she's come home from work one day and she was crying. And I said, what's wrong? She says, there's this person that sits in the desk across from her that doesn't like her because of the way she talks. That's it. Called her names. And I'm like, just because how you talk? I mean, Lord, they don't need to listen to how I talk then. They would definitely hate me. I sound like country bumpkin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sitting there reading. I didn't know something was going on in the back chat. I just caught this.
I was like, boys just hanging out back there. Like, why are you just back here?
Oh, I didn't even know. Oh, I didn't even see that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I didn't even, hold on. I forget who Moy is, but I'll bring them up. Moy, can wait a minute now, because I think I know who you are, but I'm not sure. So can you at least cam up and just give me the peace sign so I know that you're a person first? Okay, there we go. All right, I got you. You good? Okay, I know who you are. I know who you are.
You still got the mustache?
Yep.
Okay, good.
All right, boy. You don't know how long you've been listening, but I'm sorry I didn't catch you in the background there, man. I didn't even scroll down to see that somebody was in there.
It's all good. You had it in the chat, but I didn't know if it was only for specific people. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting.
Oh no, you good. I'm not like that. I don't have the whole thing where I have people pay me and all that stuff to do. I'm not there. No.
Come on now, Todd. You know that I gave you slipped you some money to let me on here.
Yeah, Moy, you like to add something to the whole conversation? I'm pretty sure you've been listening for a while. Everything that's going on with Jasmine. If you have any questions for her, or anything like that, or no matter what, comments.
No, I have been listening. This is super interesting in the fact that I haven't been in school in like 20 years. And it's unfortunate to hear that all this is going on. I've heard things as far as like, nieces and nephews and other friend of mine who going through some things in like younger areas of school, like elementary school, and getting, the programming of the I don't know what to call it, the rainbow community and all that. But yeah, this is extremely sad because it's almost like she's being gang stalked. And what the question I had for you, Jasmine, was you have a lot of courage, by the way. I was going to say, with your group in school, can't you guys get together and like the other person was saying, the other young lady was saying, I don't know her name, I'm sorry. Can't you maybe take it into civil court and sue a judge or take it to Supreme Court? Because it seems like they're really like this is actual like harassment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't honestly really thought of that before. I don't really
Big
know
biblical,
exactly the stuff to go about to get that accomplished.
You know who probably has a contact or two? MRM. Like, honestly, I think that's what we should do every time they do something stupid is take every dime they have. Every one of these opportunities should be a financial gain for us, dude. Like, for real. Like, sue everyone.
You need to do it in a county though that's maybe a little bit more conservative, because if you do it toward in the city or something. Do you live in a like where I live? If you go to a court or something, most of the judges are more conservative because where I live. But if I was to go like to a bigger city like Charlotte, North Carolina, yeah, I would be doomed. I wouldn't have a chance.
All I'm saying is, look, I'm gonna tell you like this: if a white man in a dress came and put his ear on my door as a black woman, I would just be like, look, A, it's a hate crime. B, I thought he was trying to take advantage of me. And C, you should have fell down on the ground and screamed at everybody. Like, and then sued everyone because realistically, like if we're gonna put all the cards on the table, be like, this dude put his ear on my door with his thing hanging under a dress, bro. Like, I'm upset and scared.
No,
Matter of fact, you need to not go to work the rest of this week. Every time you see a dress, assume there's a dong under it. You got PTSD now, right? And it's his fault. And sue the hell out of all of them.
Hey, Reckless Ray has a point. Reckless Ray has a real good point.
You should have tased him in his junk and then said, "Oh,
bro." Yeah, man.
You got far away from your mic or something. I can hardly hear you.
I said she should have tased him in his junk. I mean, and then I said, "Oh, I didn't know you had junk. You said you were."
Oh God.
Yeah.
But can't you take it to the highest federal court? Not even the state. Just go all the way with it. Take it all the way.
Because let me see something. Let's just say this. I'm gonna say this in this way because I don't know who. I just told you guys that I got to interview somebody that is super high in law. And I'm just going to ask some advice as to what could happen, because if these people are not following through with policy, and Jasmine literally has the email threads, and her college is literally saying they didn't know anything of it. And you got the email when, Jasmine?
Wait, what?
You got that email when?
The email today from the university.
So how ironic. She goes to this hearing in front of this for the whole world to see. And all these folks are seeing this. And all of a sudden, after all this time, now the college today wants to, well, we didn't know this was going on. And she has the email threads to prove it. Yeah. I'm liking this. I don't know. I might give you my email, Jazz, because if you're able to send those to me, I can send them to somebody here in Illinois. That is if you know who the lawyer was that sued Pritzker. Yeah, I have his contact information. I will definitely send that to him.
That's what I'm saying, because the issue is, it's like we always take the high ground when they do stupid stuff like this, and then they get away with it. So, like, honestly, we need to start checking them at every opportunity. That's the reason I be telling them. I'm like, go ahead, put your hands on me, bro. So this can be self-defense, because I'm about to get scared. I'm about to get real scared, and I'm gonna scream like a whole hoe as I destroy you, because I'm gonna be scared.
But you know what? It needs to go to these higher levels also,
Yeah.
so it could get more attention, so things can start changing from the inside out. Because honestly, 20 to 40 years, if this continues, it's going to have some horrible effects for everybody. I mean, like, I can't believe children are going through this stuff, and I know you're not a child, Jasmine, but I just mean from all the school level up, they're going through this indoctrination, and it's like, man, school should be for education. That's it. Logic. Facts.
Right. And the thing about it though is that what I really like about this is that, you know, all over this nation and different places I go and speak, I'm so glad that she was able to come on and cam up, because a lot of my young female mentees that talk like her, that look like her, to act like her, they are looking at this right now. And it's like, okay, now they got a little weight lifted off their shoulder, because they see that she's still here. She's still speaking out. She went, did what she was supposed to do in front of a big, huge stage, and stayed the course instead of caving. And that right there pretty much just going to allow them to actually stand up taller, stronger, and say, you know, if she can do the same thing and be strong about it and still doing the right thing and being righteousness, Christian woman led by God, great family. They see other Black folks on this platform are supporting her as well. They see that, you know, all the support, it makes it more for them to say, okay, I can be like Miss Jasmine. So Jasmine, just like I told the Supreme Court Justice, is that although it may not seem like it to you, you might be sitting in your dorm room right now doing your own thing, but you have no idea the impact that you're having on a whole lot of young Black women and men who see what you're doing right now. It is definitely impactful.
Yep. Also, you're breaking stereotypes, like MRM said. It's crazy how, you know, if you're someone of brown complexion, you're expected to be a derelict in this country. And that's such a stereotype that has to be broken, because that's seeping through society, and all this kind of negative rap music and all this stuff. It's not good. It's really not good. So the more eyes that get onto your story, the more of these stereotypes can be broken, because honestly, there probably are more people that have a higher intellectual capacity like yourself, that are brown skinned, than, let's say, the derelicts, but the derelicts get highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, so this has been absolutely 100% phenomenal. It's coming upon 6 o'clock. So what I'm going to do, I'm have y'all do some closing words, and I promise you, as soon as I get off of this, I'm calling Candace Owens and I'm calling Brandon Tatum and letting them know we just did this live, so they can get a hold of you, Jasmine. And
Oh, that is so wonderful.
yeah, that's what's getting ready to happen. So yeah, that's what we're getting ready to do. So whoever wants to start, Ray or Moe, whichever y'all want to have some closing words, I'll let y'all do it, and then I'll let Jasmine end it, and getting ready to make these phone calls.
I'll go ahead. First of all, MRM, it's good to see that you're back out here on these lives. I'm obviously, I had to stop through to support. And thank you for letting me up. And thank you so much for bringing this to the world's attention, because it's important. Jasmine, very brave. Stay the course, stay doing what you know is right. Like that really shouldn't be something that we have to pat people on the back for, but like, you're performing your civic duty. More people should take your stance and follow your lead. Secondly, this isn't okay. Like, honestly, like we need to have like a list of people where if some man in a dress comes up to Jasmine's door and puts his ear up to it, she needs to make a call. Cause like, I'll drive up there and handle that personally. Like, this isn't okay. These people need to understand that there are those of us who are out here that are on this side of the line that understand that's not okay, that came from a background of dealing with people who do messed up stuff like that to a woman. Like, and I don't care if you got a dress on, you not one, bro. You got the same stuff I got. We's men's. You're dealing in a men's realm now. This isn't okay. And like, I used to go up there. Like, one of my crewmates used to go to that school. I used to go up there all the time. Never saw anything crazy like what she's describing. Like, I'm very familiar with that state and city. And it's so sad to me to see that that's the state that it's in now. Like, we have to start defending our own. We have to start taking these things seriously. That was a threat on this woman's life, her safety. Anything could have happened if he would have got in that door. Because it's a man.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't okay. This isn't something that should be accepted. Everybody needs to be screaming to the ceiling about this. And honestly, like I was saying, like, it's good that MRM has taken the torch, because legally something needs to be done about this. And we have to stop letting them walk and letting them act out in this fashion and think that it's okay, think that there's no consequence, and think that they can get away with it. Because look, if we can't do it, they can't be domestic terrorizing people either, because that's what this is. And I'm gonna leave it there. Good on you, Jasmine. Stay the course, and like you obviously know that you got like a whole posse behind you at this point. Like, this isn't okay. And I'm sorry that happened to you.
Absolutely. Hey, Reckless Ray, before you get out of here, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me over at Reckless Ray Dinero. I'll be going live here in about 30 minutes for Guns and Butter. We normally talk about money, politics, little bit of relationship in there. But yeah, anywhere that you look, Reckless Ray Dinero, that's where you'll find me.
All right, Reckless Ray, hey, always, sir, appreciate you coming through. And I go live. Absolutely. I plan on seeing you a whole lot more. When you go live, if I got some time, I'll pop in there. And
you're always welcome over.
All right, sir. We'll catch you later, man. God bless. Moy, closing words, sir.
Much respect. Thank you for having me on, MRM. And to you, Jasmine, you're very, very brave. Continue doing God's work. And I really hope that your story and what's going on just allows for more of this to get out there, because this is probably happening all over the place. And unfortunately, the other side is highlighted more. And definitely the thing that gets me most aggravated about all this is, honestly, the left always uses emotions instead of going at the actual arguments or actually having an intellectual conversation, a real debate. And I think that's very cowardly. So you're very, very brave. You're doing everything right. Continue doing God's work. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Moy. You don't have a YouTube channel or nothing, do you?
I do have a YouTube channel, and I'm getting ready to put up some edited work. It's just this. It's Moy Freestyle. And yeah, I'll be putting up some content about some things going on in the world today. And that's it. Nothing too crazy. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Likewise. And Moy, I apologize, man. I know you got off, but I apologize. I didn't see you in the backdrop. I did not see that, but I'll make sure that, if we do this again, I will definitely make sure we get you up here a little early. So I'm sorry about that. Ms. Jasmine, I appreciate you coming on. And I just wanted to just say, of course, you have our support. And then whenever you are in town, whatever like that, it's always good to see you and your family in that church. You have anything you would like to say to any young women that look just like you?
Yeah, first off, I want to thank everyone watching and also speaking with us and everything. All the kind words, support, encouragement, all that is really good to hear, because it can be so hard sometimes and so isolating, because it's hard to find, people who support other conservatives. And then just me being one of the only Black female conservatives on campus is also really hard, because all my conservative friends, I'm really close with them, but at the same time, they don't understand what I'm going through, because a lot of times they don't receive as much hate or really get, exactly what I'm feeling. So again, I just really appreciate everyone. And I guess pieces of advice: definitely don't let anyone else tell you what to do ever. And my grandma, she always says, follow your heart. And I think knowing what is right and doing that, and also making sure that it aligns with God's word, and just do just do things. Don't be afraid of being the only person there. Growing up, I was always the only Black person in stuff inside and outside of school. And I know a lot of Black people I've met throughout my life, they often don't want to do things because they don't want to be the only Black person. But, no one really cares about it that much. It's not that deep. And, just do what you want to do. That's something I've always done, is doing what I want. And so, don't let people hold you back ever. Oh yeah, and thank you for having me on, Ty. I
Oh,
really
absolutely.
appreciate
Now, this
it.
is just from the first time we met. This is just a matter of time before this is going to happen. So it's definitely all in God's time and in His plan and everything like that for all of it to fall into place like this. So no, I really, really appreciate even having you on. I'm pretty sure that in the near future I'll be shooting you texts if we're going to be talking about certain subjects or whatever like that, or even if there's other panels that may be going on that I think that would be a good fit for you to go on there and be a great representation of Black women. I definitely would be able to just kind of let you know and send the link to you and let the person that's actually hosting the particular channel know like you would be a great person to have on there as a panelist. I will be doing that. So yeah, definitely going to constantly keep praying for you guys, and you keeping this up, you know, you have my support. And like I said, I'm going to make a few phone calls and you about to have a whole lot more support. So we'll be talking to you, sis.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy, Jazz.
You too. Bye.
Goodbye. All right, folks. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. That was really a great show we just had here. Yeah, this right here, folks, what we just seen right here, for her to have this bravery to actually confront the situations that's going on in her college and actually calling them all out. This right here is a prime example of why America is great, ladies and gentlemen. She is a prime example. What our forefathers did and what they stood up against is exactly what Jasmine is doing right now. Because guess what? For America to exist right now, it took individuals that had bravery, that had a heart, that had an intellect like she did. The fact that we are even here right now having this freedom of speech to talk, well, to an extent on these YouTube streams, but the fact that we are here in America being great like we are, it all came from individuals that has the same mindset to where we did not want to be ruled by a majority like the British Empire. We were tired of being ruled by them. We were tired of doing what they wanted us to do. We were tired of being told what to do and how to do it, when to do it. And we decided to do our own thing, even though that was a very minority of people that decided to do that. That right there is an example of what I'm talking about. And this was just an awesome stream, a very awesome stream. I appreciate the support, appreciate the super chat. James Rich says, miss you, miss, you're a gem. He said, I'm sorry, he didn't say miss you, I messed up. James Rich said to Jasmine, he said, miss, you're a gem, never change, big ups. Ty, I don't know if you're saying big ups, thank you, but James Rich, I appreciate that. And Magic Man said, your forefathers were slaves. Yeah, you don't know your history. That shows right then and there, because if you knew who the Constitution writers went to get advice for when they wrote the Constitution, you will realize those people that they went to for advice were ministers, and they were Black, and they were not slaves. Nice try, though. Anyway, appreciate you guys all being in here. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and make sure to go over there and check out Reckless Ray on his channel. He's getting ready to go live right here. Make sure you go check out Reckless Ray on his channel and see what that's about over there. And I appreciate you guys all being in here. And like always, I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I got to hit Reckless Ray again. He's want to support the channel. Reckless Ray with the $10 super chat. Really appreciate you there, sir. And the support of the channel. Another shout out to James Rich. Shout out to my moderators who came in here today. Red, thank you for coming in here, sis. And also Fado, I appreciate you guys coming in here and holding down the fort and everything, making sure that this is a place where all comments are welcome as long as there is respect. All right. With that being said, folks, I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I hope and pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. What's going on, everybody? So, hey, check this out. I appreciate